Good morning and welcome. It's a wonderful Monday morning, and I say that it's about the 40th day in January.
40th day?
Yeah, it's going quite fast according to some people.
So they say there are 60 days in January, right?
I thought it's 75.
75? No, 60.
Okay,
60.
okay.
I heard 60 because it's like 2 months in one.
2 months in one, eh? Okay.
But it's been, it's been lighthearted so far. So far, for a lot of people, it's getting heavier. You know, the pressure is getting. I'm not going to use the term.
You don't say worse,
I don't want to say worse.
Okay.
But yeah, we're getting there.
It's the 13th day in the month of January. Good morning, welcome. It's your numero uno breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria.
Indeed. And we are here once again on this Monday morning to make sure that everything we do for you to boost you through this Monday, throughout the week, is perfect. We've put together an amazing array of activities and, of course, conversations and guests to help start your week the right way.
I like that part, the way you rounded it off. And guests also to ensure that this week is going to be the best week of your life so far. Mary, how was your weekend? Make my Monday like a Friday.
So, my weekend was quite interesting. As a matter of fact, but it was very busy. Yesterday evening, though, I got a letter that almost broke my heart. But we keep moving. We're doing great.
Wait, well, letter or email?
It's a letter.
So printed letter.
Okay, so there's a pen pal feature on the Mary Alimi show on Sunday.
Okay.
So somebody wrote something interesting to me. But it's always good to get feedback from all sides.
It just threw me back to when love letters were still a thing. You know, did you ever write any love letters in school?
I did.
You did?
You had to. I mean, how were you communicating? There was no email or WhatsApp or BBM then.
Yeah. Love letters handwritten.
I still receive letters every year on my birthday.
Wow.
In fact, for me, it's the most important part of my birthday. I love letters.
You are old school, Mary.
Yeah, I know, and I take it with my full chest.
That's a good thing. My name is Mike Messikeno.
And I'm Tite Layo. So you can, of course, watch us live from our website. That's tvcentertainment.tv. You can also stream us live on YouTube. Just search for TVC Entertainment.
You can catch us at GOTV channel 16, StarTimes 121. And if you are to tune into the terrestrial band, that will be the ultra high frequency, the band 49.
Yes, sir.
You can also download the app to watch us anywhere across the world. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all our social media platforms at TVC Entertainment for engagement and interaction.
The engagement is actually very important to us. We love seeing your comments, your posts, when you tag us with your videos, when you're cooking the meals our chefs put together in the kitchen. We love it. So make sure you engage with us. Use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TV.
It's Monday, so we have motivation and all of that to kickstart your Monday.
But of course, music.
Oh, we have music first. All right.
Have music. We have a performer. Am I right?
Reduce this one, use some.
He's going to be under huge pressure to go to his pocket here. Outside, doesn't get it away. Oh, and a glorious equaliser. Superbly finished by Gabriel. Sterling again.
Of course, when it comes to the world of football, we have the amazing Mike Messikeno taking us through all the activities that happened over the weekend. Yes, of course. You know, some people laugh, some people cried.
Opportunity to turn the tire around.
Absolutely everything. Exactly what's what.
Raheem Sterling running into traffic, really congested. Havertz gets the ball out of his feet.
And then we have motivation to kickstart your Monday. Just relax for that one. It's going to be a wonderful one.
And then, of course, we have a guest that will be coming to hopefully not take over the studio, but be part of the show. He's known for being extremely elaborate, extremely elegant, and extremely eccentric. The one and only Adirile Edun will be popping into the studio to tell us what he's working on. He's wearing many different hats right now, and there's a new one starting this year, 2025. Okay. Hi, Mary.
How you doing? You look good. I love your dress.
You too. Thank you. I love the hair. I love the
you.
bob.
Thank
Very
you.
sleek. 2025. I think it's my first time on air with Mary 2025.
As a matter of fact,
it
yes.
is.
Interestingly.
Good to see you.
Yeah. The only other person I'm waiting for now is Winfrey. Yeah,
Winfrey.
I haven't been on air with her yet. But Mike
has
an
been
old customer now.
Exactly.
Yeah, at least
I want to see them, you know? BFFs.
What?
Not
That
too
is
bad.
important. Do you know how long we've been doing this? We've been doing this a while.
8 years.
Yes, so 8 years this year.
Yeah.
You know? Amazing stuff.
It's a long time.
Why are they feeling so chummy like this this morning?
What you talking about?
Good.
How's you guys? How's this morning?
Restful.
Restful, yeah?
Busy for me. It wasn't restful at all.
Because now you're shooting 2 locations, but let's just
Yes, yes, as a matter of fact.
Locations and all of
Yes,
that.
yes.
I think you had to be on air on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, there was the wave of Harmattan. For me, I love it, but the problem has always been the dust. Dust has always been the problem because I could react to the allergy, but I do love the cold. I do love how the weather is this period. And it works out for me. It's my best time or best weather. You know, it so happens that maybe due to climate change, as some people might call it and all of that. Normally would have had this earlier, but then it comes at this time and all of that. So yeah, I love it. I love the weather.
The Harmattan is always beautiful. However, just as you said, the dust.
Yeah.
And then the fact that sometimes it doesn't quite decide itself where it wants to be. Do I want to be cold? Do I want to be hot? Like 1 minute it seems really chilly, the next minute you're sweating profusely and you're wondering why you're wearing a sweater. Because that's what this weather does now. They said it's climate change though. So hey,
the climate has been doing
just
a
how
lot
far
to
it
all
will
over
take
the
us.
world.
Yes.
There's some people that are snowed in the north of America, Canada. They're literally snowed in, like they cannot go to work. Like
they can't even step out of their
locked
houses.
into their houses.
Yeah.
And then in California, the aftermath of, well, I think it's still going on, the LA fires.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But some people are
scary.
So what happens
scary.
is that a number of people, especially celebrities, have gone back to their houses. And what happens is that they're showing pictures of what it is now.
Yes.
And then some of them are even doing a mix of what it was
And what it is
and
now.
what it
Before
is
and
now.
after.
And we have some very very big celebrities who have lost basically everything. Everything. So just commiserate with everyone. If you have somebody, I even know one or two people who are even there who are affected. So just commiserate with everyone.
Yeah, and if you haven't called people that you know that live in the LA or California area, you should reach out to them and find out how they're doing, if they're okay, and anything you can probably do to help, even if it's words of support at this point. But yeah,
Let's check out the weather. Hopefully it rains blessings today and this week.
Okay, so now let's get to the intimate part.
Exactly.
Now. So do you feel this whole enhancement, the whole you do boobs, you do ass, does it now make you good in bed? You do your dick, does it make you good in bed? You do abs, are you now more attracted to your partner?
Are you more confident?
Exactly, to now perform well?
As a woman, you have bigger breasts, you have bigger... Come on, you feel more sexy.
Okay.
It's affecting in bed.
Okay, Beverly, you know what? I really want to hear
the experience of it. It doesn't change the experience.
I want to hear Desmond's side. I want to hear your own, but your own is making me feel somehow.
Because what? Okay.
No, I don't know.
I'm being serious.
Is that your trousers are going?
Hey!
Yes,
LGBTQ.
All right.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon. I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer.
I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oivo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman. I'm a Jabite and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabiban, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of your view are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Level 2, electrified fence.
It's terrifying. Let's get out of here.
Hey Nick fam! Remember, Nick on TVC is your one-stop for engaging children's shows like El Tigre, Paw Patrol, SpongeBob SquarePants, Kung Fu Panda, and lots more to keep the kids glued to their screens. Catch us on Mondays to Fridays at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and
It's Monday, the 13th of January, 2025. Good morning and welcome. This is the news on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mike Mesikeno. The transmission company of Nigeria says the nation's grid did not experience any collapse as reported, but that the Benin-Omotosho line has tripped and has since been restored. The General Manager of Public Affairs of TCN, Ndidimba, in a statement explained that about 1:41 p.m. the Oshobo-Ihovo line tripped, followed by the tripping of the Benin Omotosho line, which affected bulk supply to only Lagos axis alone. He clarifies that at about 1 p.m., just before the tripping, total generation on the grid was 4,335.63 megawatts, and after the situation, generation was 2,573.23 megawatts, showing clearly that the grid did not experience a collapse. Mr. Amba confirms that transmission line affected was Egbi, Olorunshogo, Omotosho, Geregu, and Paras, but that all of these have been restored except for the Benin Omotosho 330 kV line, whose restoration was ongoing as at the time of the report. He affirms that TCN is working to put in place a robust transmission grid in spite of prevalent challenges to ensure efficient electricity supply. In another development, Kano State government has expressed satisfaction with the recent Court of Appeal judgment on the Kano Emirate Council dispute, asking all relevant authorities, institutions and individuals to comply fully with the verdict. Speaking at a joint press conference, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Haruna Dederi, reaffirmed the government's commitment to justice, fairness and the modernization of traditional institutions. He emphasized that the Court of Appeal's ruling validated the government's actions regarding chieftaincy appointments and reforms, confirming that they were carried out in accordance with the law and the Constitution.
The judgment further clarifies the rightful jurisdiction over chieftaincy matters, underscoring the constitutional boundaries of the courts in such affairs. The decision by the appellate court to void previous judgments that questioned the state's lawful appointments underscores the correctness of our actions and strengthens our resolve to continue reforms for equitable representation and inclusive governance. For the avoidance of doubt, all decisions, pronouncements, and orders made by the Federal High Court Kano have been quashed and set aside.
Wife of the President, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has visited the governor of Jigawa State, Omar Namadi, over the death of his mother and son. According to a statement by her media aide, Busola Kukoyi, the First Lady, who was accompanied by the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shetima, and the wife of the Speaker of the House of Reps, Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, said the length of days of a man is the exclusive reserve of God, and no man can question him on when he chooses to call a man back home. She also offered her deepest sympathies to the governor and his family, describing the loss as tragic and devastating. The governor of the state thanked the First Lady for the personal visit, which he says was the highest level of condolence. He stated that the death of his son and that of his mother, which occurred a day apart, was an act of God which he and his family cannot question. And that's the news for the hour. We'll take a time out. Stay with us. We will be back in a bit.
Right.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. So Mary, you have something very...
Oh yes, it was an interesting conversation in a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
So apparently this lady, it appears she's the only one married amongst her friends. And so unfortunately, when she was to have a baby, she was to go through a cesarean section. That's not the unfortunate part. Yeah. The unfortunate part is her husband could not afford it. So her friends rallied round, single girls. They were able to raise, instead of the 200,000 naira she needed, they were able to raise 400,000 naira. And so they were really able to support her and everything. Now she gets better, and 4 months after having a baby, she posts on the group, "When are you girls going to get serious with your lives?" And then everyone was angry. However, there's a particular person's statement that got her really angry, that she started crying everywhere about it. The person said that when you needed help, these single girls rallied around for you. Now that you're okay, you're mouthing off. However, what she said that hurt her was, your husband could not come through for you when you needed help. We were the ones who helped you, right?
Wow.
But now that you're okay, I can't.
So you're saying that if that is what it means to
if
be
that's what
serious
it means
with
to be
your
serious,
life,
I won't wish it
then
on my
you
enemy.
Exactly. It came
And that was what made, it was very strong. And
there are many different angles to this. One of the things, it's actually kind of challenging having friends that are not of the same status as you, be it marital status, be it financial status. I know of a lot of single ladies who are affluent and they're traveling all over the world, they're having a great time, they're having a time of their lives, but then people sort of still judge them for not having settled down at a particular time. And I say a particular time because that age has started shifting. There was, before it was early 20s.
Settle down, married.
No, settle down and marriage it's the same thing we're talking about.
It's not the same thing. And that's why we need to clarify something. If this story is true as it is said, because I need to put that disclaimer out there, because a number of things will change and all of that and all that. Status or whatever doesn't come, you are at the point whereby you probably would have lost your life if you didn't do that CS.
That's true.
You understand? Let's not even talk about the fact that you had 9 months to start getting ready for a baby, and the man all the while could not plan.
Anything could have happened.
Yes, I'm saying.
Made it impossible.
So, but you that's serious with your life, in quote now, you get to that point, and so some people try to justify that she was joking and all that. Whatever she got, based on that, fully deserved. If everything as was told is true, fully deserved.
It's actually a mindset.
Something else.
What do people see as successful, as serious with your life? So not being married means you're unserious now? Is that what that means? I don't think that has anything to do with how serious you are with your life. If you value education more than family life, if you value your career more than family life, that doesn't mean that you're unserious with your life. So she was in a place where she felt she had every right to judge because there was something she had that they did not have.
But they have what she needed and helped her with.
Which was the most important.
Which was the most important, which saved her life. Now, let's see. You know something? I think it's about time someone said it, and I'm going to say it. There is absolutely nothing special about being married. I find it really irksome when people go, because they are married, they are special, or they've achieved one thing that somebody else has not achieved.
So that means if we're going on that standard now, Jennifer Lopez should be over. She has done it 6 times now. That's her level.
I know there's even another degree for that one. You'll be told that you've been married several times. That's even another issue.
There's one thing I need to tell you. Do not let societal pressure, peer pressure get you. Because you see, you will never be enough. If you have not gone to school, have you gone to school? You have not graduated. Do you now have a job? You now have a job. How much are they paying you? You are not paid well. Are you married? You are not married. You have a child.
Where are the children?
You have a boy. Why is there no girl?
You have a girl. Why is there no boy? You have a boy and a girl. Why don't you give them siblings?
Then they are now 2, and then I say, okay, there's always something.
There's always something.
So look, you have to get to the point where you block off all the balderdash and understand it for what it is.
Exactly. So, and then set your own standard for achievement. What do you actually want? Do you even know who you are? and what you actually want, or is it by somebody else's standard that you are gauging your own self?
You know what you said now reminded me of something else that is also being talked about. This couple, Adedimeji Lateef and his wife Bimbo, and how they said people, were trolling them, in search of a child and all.
So,
and I'm like, people's calendars are different. My timeline is different. If things are not working, it's not your business.
And let me even put it personal. It was even close to almost the same thing with Winfrey, and I was saying that, look, you have people that they quote, that they use as joke and call them womb watchers. Just let people live their lives.
I mean,
somebody gets when you start looking, the way she was working today, how was she working today? And then you see some people, like, even when Winfrey gets answer, people say, 2 months ago I was looking at you somehow.
Wow, really?
Shut up.
I mean, people need to live their lives. Let's be serious. You guys, you need to live your life.
Let trend that was going on at end of last year. Is it we look and we don't judge? I mean,
please, we look and we judge if you judge people. Okay, that's even getting it complicated. We listen and we don't judge.
Let's take that break. Everyone will be back after this.
After morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
We bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you seize your day one step at a time. On Max's, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Max's.
Area, waiting the happen, waiting the shop. You need to award-winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max always.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Sheen. Let's go.
102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers.
Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road.
Arsenal will be frustrated by the flag. To 10 men. Garnacho able to steal away. A misjudgment by Gabriel. And Bruno Fernandes! Glorious goal for Manchester United! Ecstasy in one corner of the Emirates. And that's precisely the kind of situation they were looking for, and they have exploited it to the full.
Well, talk about capitalising on a defensive error. It's a sensational goal. Arsenal dominating the ball, forcing it.
Off here by Dallo, who's got to be careful. Well, Andy Madley's going to be under huge pressure to go to his pocket here. Altai doesn't get it away. Oh, and a glorious equaliser. Superbly finished by Gabriel. Sterling again. And Havertz. And the referee points Manchester United frustrated. Arsenal have a penalty and a glorious opportunity to turn the tie around.
Tells you absolutely everything. Raheem Sterling running into traffic's really congested. Havertz gets the ball out of his feet.
And outside produces a moment of heroics.
He's a giant goalkeeper outside, just gets down so quickly.
All right, that was Captain Martin Odegaard, who missed that penalty in regulation time. Well, that was a game that Arsenal should have won. But before we go to that, let's talk about the Supercopa España. That's a Super Cup in Spain. It was played in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and it was the El Clasico. Real Madrid up against Barcelona, and my, oh my, what a game of football. Mary, of course, is here with me on this one on standby. And Mary, I don't know if you saw the game or if you were at work, but it ended in, it was 5-2. It was a dramatic game in all sense of the word, Mary. What are your thoughts?
So the word drama is what best describes this. Everyone knows that when Real Madrid and Barcelona have a match, a face-off, there's always that, okay, what's it going to be? So many people putting their money where their mouth is and all. However, this game was enthralling from start to finish. I'm pretty sure you watched it live. I watched the highlights. However, even the highlights were captivating, so to speak. A bit of a disappointment at the results. However, I guess both pulled their weight as much as they could. I expected better.
Okay, let's take a look and see how much time we have to analyze some of the goals. We'll kick off with the Kylian Mbappe goal. This was a beauty until we saw the second goal. He was up against 4 defenders. Positioning was quite good, okay, for them. Balde, that's him here. Koundé, and of course Inigo Martinez, and of course, yes, that was Jules Koundé. Kylian Mbappe receiving the pass from Vinicius Junior. Now, at this particular point in time, took a run from here. It seemed as though he just might not have anything to do. But then, Kylian Mbappe being the person that he is, with after all the criticism that has come his way, Kylian Mbappe was able to pull that off, and you need to see the beauty that this particular goal was. The way he went through, you would think that at this particular point there was no way to get through to get a shot on goal. But this was where all the magic came through. Now watch what Kylian Mbappe does. Now look at it. Takes that,
Very unexpected.
Made those guys, if we could, okay, there's no slow motion replay. I would want to take that back, and you get to see how that ensured that particular goal, how it went. Let's see if we can get it exactly. Let's see if we can get it again. Okay, by this time the goal had already gotten in. Yeah, okay, you'll get to see it well from here now. Okay, this was prior to that time. Now the thing about him was that he put in this goal. What a great goal that I would say this one was going to be now. And yeah, look at it. Takes the oh, come on. That was a beauty. I would say. But then wait until you see Lamine Yamal's own. Which was the second goal, and that was where Barcelona started their comeback. The equalizing goal, I must say. It was even more beautiful than Kylian Mbappe's own. takes that. Okay, no, at this particular point in time, Rafinha, who I would say man of the match and Barcelona's player of the season, but he brought up that. Now look at it, look at it, look at that run, look at that run. What a beauty. What a beauty, Mary. Mary, what are your thoughts on Lamine Yamal's
was
goal?
Beautiful.
It was.
And you know, you analyzed it well, because when I saw Mbappe's goal, I was like, Mbappe is already making a comeback in a very good way. I was so impressed by the way he was able to put that there. And then I saw the next goal, I was like, what's going on here? And it was at that moment I was wishing I had watched the match live, because the highlights were showing them, and I was like, gosh, I can imagine what it would have been like watching this live. Okay,
you did miss quite a lot when it came to that particular match, because at this particular point in time, let's take a look. He took that run from so much space now, and it looked like Madrid's defense, Mendy, Rudiger, and of course this guy. He was a liability, I would say, in some ways. That's talking about Aurelien Tchouameni. Valverde running back there. It seemed as though there was nothing was going to do. Block off. By the time he took this run here, if I'd seen prior to this particular time, quite an amazing run. This dude is just a kid, still a teenager and all that. Yeah. But look at the devastation he's causing. Caught in here, and by this point, you'd expect that for the distance to the goal, you're looking at well over, say, 35 meters. And you'd expect that he would take a shot. Now, this was where he caught a Thibaut Courtois off guard, and you need to see how it ensured. Came in, very, very, very wonderful, and he slid it into that particular car mark. What a beauty, what a beauty, what a beauty. The game went on. There was quite some drama. Vinicius Jr. should have gotten a red card. That's talking about how it went. But did you expect, Mary, that at the end of the first half, the scores would be 4-1? Did you think that anything could happen, that in its own could ever happen, that at the end of the first half, 4-1, Barcelona on top?
It was absolutely unexpected. We do know that Real Madrid has been having a good run, especially when it comes to Barcelona in recent times. So not many people could have expected that turnout. To be fair, while I was going through it, because I like to go through the match first before checking what the final score is. When I got to the halftime, I was thinking, okay, there will be some kind of catch-up going on. But unfortunately, all that happened was just an extra goal on both sides. That's why I said it was a bit disappointing. But
all right. Okay, now we might not be able to go through all the goals individually, but this was also a very big point of contention. Was this a penalty or not? Let's take a look at it. It was Eduardo Camavinga with his hit. I mean, look at it now. You would see that. Come on. We need to think about, because I know some Madrid fans who went up and said, "Oh, that was not a penalty, as it were." But look, it was clear. That was a hit. That was a stomp.
A very obvious one, as a matter of fact.
Quite a very obvious stomp, I must say.
But you know, the thing with Madrid fans is they always argue penalties. They always argue things like this. So it's actually not surprising. But that one is so obvious. Like, it's... How else can you explain that that is a penalty?
Okay. All right. I don't know how, if you are a Madrid fan, how this will be an issue. But come on now, you carry leg like say now gear you the match or now this thing. Wait, what?
That was so deliberate.
What is this?
How
look
much
at
more
where the ball was.
Can you be?
Baba put leg like say now trailer the drag. They're supposed to give you card on top of that thing, safe. But then look at this. Look at this. How would you? This stamp came. Some angles might not show you exactly how it is, but this is the best angle.
It was not reaching for the ball. It was reaching for the knee, and that's what he got. Look at that now. It's very obvious.
Clear. Stonewall penalty. It went up. It was quite an interesting game. We'll talk about this, of course, across the week on different shows, and of course definitely on Saturday. But my oh my, it was a beauty. 5-2 it ended, and of course Barcelona picking the Supercopa de España, the Super Cup in Spain, even though it was played in Saudi Arabia. Kudos to the Blaugrana as they got one over Los Blancos. Now that's it on the beautiful game on Wake Up Nigeria. We'll take a timeout. Stay with us. We will be back in a jiffy.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza to the richness of our culture to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. Or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting, as the arts are meant to be.
Hello, TVC Communications, how can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
That you sent someone to follow me to terrorize me.
I don't know what.
Just stop lying to me, Charlie. You are the only enemy I have in this life.
All I want now is to earn your forgiveness. I'm an inmate here, just like you are.
Charlie Cruz conditional freedom.
We will now begin this process by review.
Where's Eric?
Hey! Out of the way! Mark! I was born ready, princess.
Hey, my people, I greet you plenty. My name na Chika Okeke. My name na Uwi Balogun. My name na Damilola Banire. My name na Moyo Faraway Ahmed. If you also call me Moyo, listen. Hello and welcome back. It's about time for our Monday motivation segment, and we are honored to have the amazing Daniel Adelisi back in the building. We always learn something brand new, something refreshing, something that is enough to get us through the week whenever he steps into the studio. It's great to have you back.
My pleasure to be here again.
It's 2025, and there are a lot of things that people are working on that might not seem huge, but are actually very, very significant.
Absolutely.
And our topic today is emulating an iceberg, the things unseen. Very
Absolutely.
interesting topic.
Yeah, so I started looking at things that we can learn from. First of all, you need to understand that we can learn from nature.
Sure.
Nature is probably the greatest teacher around us. If only we pay attention to nature, there's so much wisdom we can gain from it. So when we talk about emulating the iceberg, the first thing you note about the iceberg is most of the iceberg is hidden.
True.
There are too many of us who come out too early. There are too many of us who are announcing the things that we're doing too early. There are projects you're working on, everybody knows about it before they should know. There's so many things that you should work out the details, fine-tune them before you begin to announce them. So the first strength and lesson that we can learn from the iceberg is the fact that the biggest size of the iceberg is hidden.
It's beneath the surface.
Beneath the surface.
Okay.
You don't see it, you don't know the actual size until you go under the water. It's similar to the tree, that
True.
the real strength of the tree is what is in the roots, what is under the ground that you don't see. So you look at the iceberg, the bigger size is under the surface. So we need to learn from that as well. Let people think you're small. Be comfortable with people believing that you haven't arrived. Be comfortable with people believing that you don't have money. Be comfortable with people looking at your car and underrating you.
True.
Be comfortable with people looking at where you live and underrating you as well.
Okay, so
until they find out who you truly are.
You don't live on Banana Island, so they don't rate you.
It doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much. There are those who can live somewhere else. There are those who go all over the world. But there are those who don't seem to have all those things on the outside.
Sure.
But when you find out who they are, when you see their portfolio, when you see their strength, then you say, wow. I've been fooling myself and this person has been camouflaging all along. So that's the first lesson. Then the second lesson that we can learn from the iceberg is patience. It builds over different weather. It doesn't matter what the weather looks like. It keeps building over time. When there's a change in weather, it can defrost and form again, just so that it can adjust to the new weather condition.
So you need to be flexible.
Flexible and adaptable. Flexible and agile. You can't walk in a particular way. One of the things I keep teaching, for example, when I'm training, I'm talking about goal setting, is that if I need to get from point A to point B, the most important thing is getting to point B, not the how. The how can keep changing, but getting to point B is the end result. Most people focus on getting to point B, and they think that getting to point B must happen in a straight line. And they don't realize that sometimes you have to first of all go left or go right and then go forward. But they just want to go forward immediately. But if I try that here, what's going to happen to me here? I'm going to hit this thing and probably fall, tip over, break a tooth, or lose a couple of teeth at my age.
Speaking of breaking things, when I think of an iceberg, the first thing that comes to my head is the Titanic. You know, at the time, the Titanic itself was the biggest purpose-built passenger vessel on the oceans, and it took a small scratch from an iceberg. Seemingly small. Obviously, it was beneath the surface of the water. If you watch that movie, it was beneath the surface of the water that it scratched the ship. So I'm thinking about how powerful or
the iceberg is.
The impact of an iceberg
is. So that's the thing. That's why we say you don't underrate the iceberg that you see. You underrate the iceberg at your peril, at your own peril, because the biggest strength of the iceberg, or the most powerful things about it, is that you don't see it coming. You don't see the impact, the possible impact it can have. You don't see the size, so you can tentatively underrate it. So as a human being too, allow people to underrate you. Do you know that sometimes when we talk about enemies and friends and stuff like that, sometimes the reason they can do what they can do to us is because they've seen everything about us. In the military, there's something called strategy. And one of your biggest strategy as a soldier is to make sure that your enemy never sees you coming. Never. So you're hiding. What's the idea of camouflaging? You try to blend into the environment so that when they show up, they don't know they are walking into a trap. They don't know they are walking into an ambush. So in the corporate world as well, there are some achievements you don't even show off until it's time to show them off.
And another good example is actually us here at TVC. You know, we were in K2 for a very, very long time.
And people thought that you're taking a blow and you're going to stay low.
Exactly. It took 4 years
to
for
get
our
back on
iceberg to rebuild.
Yeah, to be revealed soon.
Exactly, and to be revealed. And here we are.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I'm thinking about 2025 and where we're going from here. Not just as a station, but as individuals in our place of work, in our businesses, even with new ideas. There are a lot of schools of thought that are talking about us, showcasing ourselves on social media, telling people everything you're doing, giving them a blow by blow of everything that's happening. So where do we stand on this line now? Some people believe you need to showcase and market yourself, and now you're saying, hey, don't tell everyone what you're doing yet. Where do we stand?
So there's a difference between, first of all, let's remember that we've talked about the strength being hidden until you finally see it and understand the strength. There's patience that we've talked about. The patience is to know the right time to come out. There's also adaptability. Most people try to show off is the process and not the end results. When you show off the process and not the end result, I can easily copy what you're trying to do and I can outsmart you. So if you're doing something, you're showing off the blow by blow account, as they try to say, and I know what you're doing. I may have more resources to move faster than you're moving. So if I have more resources to move faster than you're moving, what have you gained by showing me the step-by-step account of everything that you're doing? You've just given me free idea, and you can't even sue me for using exactly the same idea. So one thing is, if you're going to really succeed in the coming years, don't let people see you coming.
Be like an iceberg.
Don't let them see you coming. Keep your strength, remain agile, remain flexible, because it changes, it reshapes. So be flexible, be adaptable, be agile, and don't let people see you coming until they underrate you and they realize how strong, how powerful you can be, and then they see that you are not a pushover.
So now, what's the assignment we're giving people for the rest of the week?
Work in secret, and when the result is coming out, or when the result is ready, that's when you begin to show what you have done. For example, when we do what we call product launch. When you're doing a product launch, do you show people how you build the product?
No.
You don't. It's till the product is ready. Are you aware that there's a battery that can last probably over 1,000 years?
Wow.
But while it was being done, nobody showed us what they did. Nobody showed us how they are building. And more importantly, there are 2 Nigerians on the research projects.
Interesting.
But that battery, as small as probably the tip of my finger, but it can do like 1,000 years. So very soon you're going to have phones that you don't have to recharge, and they're going to work for their entire lifespan.
Mr. Fola Daniels Adelisi in the building. Our motivation segment is very, very key this morning for each of us starting off the week. Maybe there's a project you want to start talking about with someone. This message might just be for you. Let everything get to a certain stage of completion before letting your iceberg out of the surface. Mr. Fola Daniels, thank you so much. We'll see you again next week.
By God's grace.
All right, then use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tell us what you think about today's topic. We can't wait to see your comments. Stay with us. There's still quite a bit more coming your way on Wake Up Nigeria. Happy New Year! It's 2025, people!
Cheers to an amazing 2025.
Happy New Year!
Oh, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Welcome to a year of growth and success.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! That's to a fresh start.
Happy New Year!
This year bring you peace and happiness.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
I wish you say Happy New Year once again. I wish you well.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice choice for my business.
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
So far, so good in the Wake Up Nigeria neighborhood.
So far, so good.
Yes.
Let me see you.
Go,
Let me see you.
Go,
Yeah, welcome back. It's the second lap of the show, and we've got quite an interesting first hour that we've done so far. But hey, come on. It's the most exciting, and I dare say I'm not being narcissistic now. It is the most exciting breakfast show on Nigerian television.
It is.
We need no further introductions.
Indeed. But I will say that this is Wake Up Nigeria.
Okay.
We have amazing anchors like Mike, like Mary. We have awesome chefs, dazzling lineup of guests.
Oh.
And yeah, time is still ticking by.
I guess this morning has already entered and scattered the studio. You cannot
yes,
stay one place. Well, yeah, Mary. You saw the guest scattered the studio just as he entered.
You know, when he comes in, he has to announce his presence. That's the way he is. He doesn't sneak in like some of us. He comes in boldly and says, "Hey, look at me, I'm here." You'll find out who that person is in a bit, I'm pretty sure.
All right, we've already introduced him, of course, in the first lap.
Yeah,
we'll get to talk more about that. My name is Mike Mexicano.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Remember, you can use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all social media platforms. Please connect with us.
All right, you can watch us live from anywhere with the app which you can download on Google Play Store and Apple iOS.
Indeed. GOTV channel 16, UHF channel 49, StarTimes channel 121. Please watch live from anywhere in Nigeria.
And follow us on social media. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC for engagement and interaction.
Yeah, indeed. And interacting with us is important because of what we have coming up very, very soon. Now we have a musical performance.
Yes. We have VR Olorin, formerly known as Dr. Rhymes, Nigerian singer, songwriter, and guitarist. He has a unique blend of core African folk and Western pop sound. Oh Lord, I'm looking forward to seeing how that sounds.
Yeah. And for our final discussion, we have Aderele Oluwafemi Edun, popularly known as Derele, Nigerian television presenter, actor, model, dancer, producer, all-round socialite.
I think Derele has gone to the point where you can't say Derele is a presenter or actor. What you say is that person is a Derele, like eccentric.
Wow.
You're just everything.
You can say
like, oh yeah, Mary is a Derele. What does that mean? Mary is eccentric. Just there. But hey, come on, we are going to have him on for a wonderful, wonderful discussion. We're looking forward to that one. All right, well, let's take a look at what the weather's like.
Indeed.
Yeah? Okay.
What's it going to give us?
It's news once again on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mike Mexicano. The transmission company of Nigeria says the nation's grid did not experience any collapse as reported, but that the Benin Omotosho line tripped and has since been restored. The General Manager Public Affairs of TCN, Ndidimba, in a statement explained that at about 1:41 p.m. on Sunday, the 12th of January, the Oshobo Ihovo line had a slight trip-off, and then, of course, it affected some other lines. But as at the time of reporting for Lagos, it had been restored, but the Benin Omotosho line was affected, which supplies to only Lagos axis alone. Now, he clarified that at about 1 p.m., just before the tripping, total generation on the grid was 4,335.63 megawatt, and after the situation, generation was about 2,573.23 megawatts, showing clearly that the grid did not experience a collapse. Mr. Amba confirms that the transmission line affected was Egbi, Olonshogo, Omotosho, Geregu, and Paras, but all these have been restored except for Benin Omotosho 330 kV line, whose restoration was ongoing as at the time of a report. He affirms that TCN was working to put in place a robust transmission grid in spite of the prevailing challenges to ensure efficient electricity supply. Now, in another development, Kano State Government has expressed satisfaction with the recent Court of Appeal judgment on the Kano Emirate Council dispute, asking all relevant authorities, institutions, and individuals to comply fully with the verdict. Speaking at a joint press conference, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Haruna Dederi, reaffirmed the government's commitments to justice, fairness, and the modernization of traditional institutions. He emphasized that the Court of Appeal's ruling validated the government's actions regarding chieftaincy appointments and reforms, confirming that they were carried out in accordance with the law and the Constitution.
The judgment further clarifies the rightful jurisdiction over chieftaincy matters, underscoring the constitutional boundaries of the courts in such affairs. The decision by the appellate court to void previous judgments that questioned the state's lawful appointments underscores the correctness of our actions and strengthens our resolve to continue reforms for equitable representation and inclusive governance. For the avoidance of doubt, all decisions, pronouncements, and orders made by the Federal High Court Kano have been quashed and set aside by the Court of Appeal.
Wife of the President, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has visited the governor of Jigawa State, Umar Namadi, over the death of his mother and son. According to a statement by her media aide, Busola Kukoyi, the First Lady, who was accompanied by the wife of the Vice President, Nana Shetima, and wife of the Speaker of the House of Reps, Fatima Tajuddin Abbas, said the length of days of a man is the exclusive reserve of God, and no man can question him on when he chooses to call a man back home. She also offered her deepest sympathies to the governor and his family, describing the loss as tragic and devastating. The governor of Jigawa State thanked the First Lady for the personal visit, which he says was the highest level of condolence. He stated that the death of his son and that of his mother, which occurred a day apart, was an act of God which he and his family cannot question. Now on to sports. As part of activities to celebrate the new year, many communities in Imo State organized a football tournament to harness the talents from the grassroots. Our community in Oguta, local government area of Imo State, used the football tournaments to bring the youths of the area together after many years of insecurity and restiveness. The organizer of the football tournament, Ugochukwu Oti, commended the Imo State government for restoring peace in Oguta and its environs. Ugochukwu says this has allowed the people to celebrate the Yuletide without fear of security threats.
It's a unifying factor. It brings the youth together, and there's an idle man is a doing workshop. So once you engage the youth, give them reasons why they should come together, play for peace. In fact, the symbol of this football is peace. To select raw talents from the sport, so that we can see how we will help them source for agents abroad.
This tournament is going to portray in our today. It's going to unify the youth of the more. You cannot see that people are embracing.
And then, of course, there was the FA Cup, where it was quite an interesting one for Manchester United as they were up against Arsenal in that quite pulsating encounter, but then, just before that, league leaders Liverpool cruised into the fourth round of the FA Cup with a commanding 4-0 victory over Accrington Stanley at home. Liverpool broke Accrington's resistance when Diogo Jota opened scoring in the 30th minute of the game. 3 other goals from Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jadon Dance, and Federico Chiesa sealed the match for the Merseyside. Now, some other Premier League teams, Wolves, Leicester City, Bournemouth, Chelsea, Brighton, and Nottingham Forest were also through to the fourth round. But Brentford suffered a shock elimination in the hands of Plymouth Argyle. Now, of course, that's it on sports. And, of course, the news for today. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. There's still a bit more to come on show.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
We bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you seize your day one step at a time. On Maxis, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Maxis.
Area, waiting the apple, waiting the shop. You need to award-winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max Drive.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Sheen. Let's go.
102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
Good morning, Marina Station and all the passengers.
Efficient, it's comfortable.
This development will go a long way in reducing congestion and emission.
The trains are long-term solution to Lagos traffic challenges.
This is where we take the final, decisions on policies, programs of government. I will have to ensure that, the narration of Lagos as a PLC is taken very, very seriously.
This is a major pedestrian bridge linking Oyingo here to Apapa Road over there.
With this overpass, we are providing what we call a permanent solution.
This place is one of the most dangerous areas at the biosecurity environment.
This can go into the news and every crimes of your neighborhood.
Our goal is to remain as Africa's model megacity, to move our GDP from the 5-6 position to the 3rd position, and we believe is achievable with all the commitments we have.
Explore the city of Lagos, where dreams are made and possibilities are endless. Amadedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer. I am a Makorakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Welcome to our hacker. I am Ramatu Shehu Oyibo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an Hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabi Brand, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of your view are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
The time has come to experience the power of faith, music, and praise. This is the Max Urban Gospel Chart Show. Every Sunday from 10 a.m. tune in to catch the pulse-pounding beat and soul-stirring melodies that will elevate your faith and leave a lasting impact on your heart. The Max Urban Gospel Chart Show. Every Sunday from 10 a.m. exclusively on Max FM, where we count down the best 20 urban gospel hits from around the world.
For a musical performance this morning on Wake Up Nigeria, and for that we have B.R. Olori, formerly known as Dr. Rhymes, a Nigerian singer, songwriter and guitarist. He has a unique blend of core African folk and Western pop sound. It's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us this morning. How are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. My pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
So I'm very curious about something. Your name is B.R. Olori and used to be Dr. Rhymes. Why did you switch to B.R. Olori?
Actually, the name B.R. Olori, I consider it to represent my brand right now.
Okay.
Because at some point I was into pop music,
okay,
but I have transited into core African music.
Okay.
And I believe the name B.R. Olori represents my present reality.
Ah, okay. So what does the B and R stand for? I guess R is rhymes.
No.
Is it still?
It's a story. While I was Dr. Rhymes, somebody just called me Raimo. So the person was just playing, said, you must be Baba Raimo. And I pick up the name. Something told me the name is going to be an also name sometimes. So I pick up the name, Baba Raimo Olori.
Ah, Raimo. Okay. Yeah. All right. Interesting. So what song are you performing for us this morning?
So I'm going to be doing Morire. It's a new year, a new week and a new day. Yeah. The song talks about God's guidance in our life's journey, and I believe it's the right song for now.
You know what? We cannot wait to hear you perform, so take it away.
Thank you indeed.
Get ready to step into the heartbeat of your city like never before. Welcome to Events Diary, where every moment is a celebration. From the electric energy of Owambe extravaganza to the richness of our culture to the sophistication of corporate gatherings, Events Diary is your VIP pass to the hottest gatherings in Nigeria. And guess what? I'll be your guide, your style icon. Each week, join me as I transform from traditional chic to corporate sleek. Whether it's a birthday bash or a high-profile gala, you won't just see it. You'll feel like you're right there with me. Aww. From meetings to evening soirees, I'll be there. Or to the trendiest street festivals or to music concerts, Events Diary has something for everyone. So join me as we explore the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian scene, one event at a time.
I'm Miriam Lunge. I'm a passionate environment advocate and a published author.
I am the founder of Celebration, a businesswoman, and a fashion icon.
I am a wealth coach and a real estate developer. I am Amako Arakwe. I'm a corporate commercial lawyer and an entrepreneur.
Welcome to Warhaka. I am Ramatu Shehu Oivo, an entrepreneur and a business coach.
I am the voice of an average Muslim woman, an hijabite, and a lawyer.
I am a polymath and a serial entrepreneur.
I am Murayo Afolabiban, Managing Director, TVC Entertainment. I'm a media consultant, producer, and broadcaster.
The ladies of your view are made of women from different professions, tribes, cultures, and religion. Join us every Monday to Friday as we share our views on topical and social issues.
Okay, so now let's get to the intimate part.
Exactly.
Now. So do you feel this whole enhancement, the whole you do boobs, you do ass, does it now make you good in bed? You do your dick, does it make you good in bed? You do abs, are you now more attracted to your partner?
Are you more confident?
Exactly, to now perform well.
As a woman, you
have
bigger breasts, you have bigger. Come on, you feel more sexier.
Okay.
It's affecting in bed.
Okay, Beverly, you know what?
No,
I really want to hear
the
it.
experience of it. It doesn't change the experience.
I want to hear Desmond said. I want to hear your own, but your own is making me feel somehow.
Because what? Okay.
No, I don't know.
I'm being serious.
Is that your trousers are going?
Hey!
Ha gula lumo!
Yes, please.
LGBTQ.
All right.
So, another marvelous Monday guest here for you. The amazing
Welcome back to Wake Up Nigeria. And yes, whenever stars like this pop into the studio, we have to specially prepare for them. We have Aderile Oluwafemi Edu in the building. He's popularly known as Derele, Nigerian TV presenter, actor, model, producer, dancer, all-round fashionista, the eccentric, the amazing Derele.
I love that. So, Tito, you just pass the way. I want to pass to Mary as well.
All right.
See, it's truly an honor to be seated in the middle.
Oh,
I almost said blending, rhyming with the set, because you can see the yellow lights. My jacket is yellow. There's the elements of pink.
Oh, wow.
And then there's white. Oh,
you planned it. Please don't say that one.
I was
don't say
it. I'm Mary too sharp.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
I love yours. Can I just say this before you guys commence? This is state of the art. Like, you know, you guys under promised but over delivered. It blew my mind. The moment I stepped in here, I was like, it's dynamic in delivery. It's exceptional in value. It's aesthetically appealing.
Wait till you see other parts.
Wahoo.
There's a lot more.
This is just a tip of the iceberg. If you've not been to TVC, you have to come.
Yeah.
I'm here every day now.
Yes.
You'll go anywhere.
We have an office for you downstairs.
Fantastic.
In the basement.
Basement. As long as I'm in this complex. And I can always stroll up. Bring it on.
But really, we have a basement now. Like,
yes,
really,
we do.
And I can turn that basement into like an artsy, creative space.
And you
so
can.
Yes.
We know that.
Now the door will just put MAD, making a difference. Mad.
Oh.
You have to be mad to enter there.
In fact, this is a nice wake-up call, Mary, right? What do you
think? Yes, indeed, it is. It is.
I love it. Wake up, Nigeria! You will woke us up this morning.
Woo! What day?
One day I will like
There's no way they really enters a room you wouldn't even notice someone came in. Like the presence.
Yeah.
But
there's something he always does, which I've tried to learn from over the years, is he greets he greets the kettle, he greets the pot, he greets the door handle, he greets every single.
You forgot to greet my hair.
He greets everybody. In fact, he gives them a hug. And that positive energy is just what we needed this morning. And I feel like the set is officially open now that they really are.
Yes! And I think everyone deserves to be appreciated, acknowledged, recognized, and celebrated. So it's not just a ploy on my part to maybe arrest attention. No. I think it's also the the Eurobist in me that everybody must be. I've got to care everybody.
Yes.
The only thing is that I'm not. No, I even double safe.
Most of the time.
Yes, I double. This one I'm wearing.
With this. Please
no,
don't
my own
lift
is
it
just.
too
I'll
high,
just do
please. No. All right, let's talk about some, things that have been happening in your world. We know you just came back from Marrakesh.
Yes, I did not want to come back.
Yes, with those belly dancers. Why would you want to come? I saw it on your status.
Really? Let me even say something that even happened. We went to this place called Palais de Sukar. At the moment we walked in, I'm sure the country is filled with a lot of colored people. So when you're of a certain skin tone, you're stared at, a whole lot more than you'd expect. We got into this place. They had like the performances, the dancers were performing, and then one of the dancers now did mistake, now called me to come and dance. I said, I just gathered myself with my polar. When I started, it became a dance battle. Everyone started, we're battling. But the whole idea is that, as Nigerians, wherever we walk into, we not only create an impact, we leave that place and we leave memories. So I would say, Marrakesh, Morocco lives in my heart. I did not want to come back, but I'm back. So every month I'm going to do a country. That's
the plan for 2025.
I'm telling you.
So, going through countries, do you go dressed like this, or you're usually more conservative?
Yes, actually. I pack. So here's the thing: people would advise that when you travel, pack less because you buy. No, I will pack.
How many bags on average?
So usually I'll do 2, but here's the way I do it. Hand luggage and a backpack filled with clothes, then 2 boxes, massive boxes. The clothes must be there. I must be in my essence, my aura. So everywhere I walk, there was the other time I went to the souk, the market. I was so elaborately dressed, and I'm not saying this as a ploy to again arrest attention. It's just it's my state of mind, and I was just trudging through the market, but of course all the prices were skyrocketed them.
Yes.
So my friends were like, move, go and do your own shopping. You are causing problems here. But yeah, I dressed
Have you been
away.
able to define what this dressing actually is? You know, because it's become a different genre for you.
Yeah.
It's so there is a place of what the world has called cross-dressing.
Yes.
But then there is something that really adds to it.
Gotcha.
So let's talk a bit about the cross-dressing side of things and what really actually does.
I love that. So style is when they're running you out of town, but you make it look like you are leading the parade.
Oh,
you know, style is an expression of individualism mixed with charm. My clothes are an expression of my individuality and an extension of my personality, which is outlandish, flamboyant, colorful, spunky, and whatnot. I think that to veer off from that, you know, terminology, because it's been very well abused in this country, I would say that my style is borderline alte, which is like, you know, alternative, ALTE, alte. We'll say it as a proper Yoruba boy, alte mimi, and you know, there's a movement. For me, when I started off then, you know, way before the advent of the internet, I was just enjoying expressing myself through clothes that I saw on the runway, and I felt like I could wear them off the runway. But then I had the, you know, the ginger to wear it. I almost said one. Mary, I like the way Mary is, you know, giving me the eye of the family show. Yeah, and it's metamorphosized into a more refined and you know, stylish narrative, if I can put it at that. You know, at first I didn't have choices, so you know, it was, you know, kind of scattered, but still I would say that my look still is fun. It's not too serious, but it's still serious enough to get compliments. You know, when you see me, you look kilo cozy, then you post and one person wear all this thing. Oh, they're fine. They're fine. They mix that like my color combo today.
So they really, I know there's actually a lot more to talk about, because I know we want to talk about your project and all, but I need to quickly mention something. So just about 3-4 weeks ago, you know, Titi was trending.
Yes, of course.
You know, I cannot be here and you guys will meet, and it's why we are here.
We are ready for Mary. We are ready.
One of the things that Titi was trending for was the fact that she was your first, or rather you were her first boyfriend.
Yes.
Now, through the years, you guys have managed to create a friendship, which is admirable, because I've been there to witness it for over 7 years now. So I know for sure that you guys have a very tight bond. She's always blowing your trumpets. You're also, as much as possible, supporting her. Really, how has it been like being able to pull this off, despite the fact that she's married? What has it been like for you?
That's a $1 million question rolled into one. So, you see, when Titi has never spoken about dynamic alliance, if I put it at that, I'm the one who usually does that. And I think, and I'll be very honest, I think maybe at the time I used to say it, I just realized, and I was sharing this with a cousin of mine, that maybe I was trying to get Titi's attention based on, you know, something that happened in the past, and maybe I needed to clear the air. Maybe I was still, you know,
was it closure?
Perhaps. Maybe I was still burnt, a little burnt. But you know, when
because the way she left you was bad. We know the story. I know quite well that
I want to
your sisters took a long time to forgive her. We know. Okay, maybe everybody does not know.
Did you live in a Butemeta? Mary Sikawa today.
Since you people are here, let's trash this matter.
Okay, so I like where Mary's going with this. And Titi, I'll be very honest, when I saw that interview, I watched it full length, and I felt like whatever I must have harbored in the past just dissolved into thin air. You know, I was very glad she did that. And it wasn't even because, you know, she spoke so highly of me in that interview. I mean, you didn't need to, you know, you didn't need to, but it was the fact that she could, you know, talk about it in a public space, you know, in a public platform like that. And I was just glad that it felt like we're having the conversation together. And I just said to myself, you know what, whatever happened, you know, the past is gone.
So it was kind of like the closure you needed.
It helped. I'll be honest. I've never said this, but it helps.
So we've had a few conversations over the years about this. And the conversations we've had have always sort of, you know, skimmed over the surface of what happened, because we both decided to sort of let it go. And the industry
was it a conversation or it was just an unconscious decision?
Conversation.
Brief conversation. You know, we touched it once or twice.
But the truth is, I've always acknowledged, even to other people, that the truth is, I probably wouldn't even be in front of a camera, ever, if not for Derele. I probably would never wear high heels because my mother never used to buy them for me.
And let me even tell you the parts that I need to add.
Yeah, go ahead.
Apologies to cut you short. So on the X app, people started saying, what Didi did to, you know, all of these people.
Wow.
They brought that whole grooming narrative up. And I explained it. No, because Titi had mentioned secondary school. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I went to Queen's College to do a stage play.
Yeah.
Titi came in mufti to pick up her, like, living
you're now looking like a 19-year-old.
Which is why I engaged that we had a conversation. For the people in uniform, I said, but I don't want problem. The principal at the time, you know, Mrs. Bickersteth.
Yes, Shajiri or
no, I think it was Mrs. Bickersteth.
Ajayi at
Was
that
it?
time.
Mrs. Bickersteth was in my church, Methodist church. Her daughter is married to OC UKJ. So I just said, let her not come and dissect me in church. So Titi and I had a conversation. Titi was in Laspo Tech Solo at the time. She was not in Queen's College. So all of you people that are saying that I went to secondary school to go and catch them young, pedophilia. Thank you. Okay, no, just saying. But that, it's part of a conversation, and then in my very mature way, because you know I apply emotional maturity and emotional intelligence to these things. I schooled them. I said, look, dead in that narrative. This is no grooming here. Titi will not answer things like this, but I would. Do not get this picture wrong. So I explained the way everybody started thanking me. Thank you for clearing the more air. But you know, that was a different conversation.
Another air to clear, which many people are asking. Who broke up with who? Who ended? You know, I already said it, though, but it let it come from you people because it's not to me like me. I went to go and say what I was not saying.
I love it.
Because somebody is needing closure here, so we need to know.
Let me move to Mary.
Wait,
let me protect you
on this.
Yes, you can.
In the definition of breakup,
I
don't really feel like there was a cataclysmic breakup. There was never an event or a fight or something that happened. It was like as if we just kind of grew apart. So a lot of distance grew through time, events, traveling here and there, activities, a lot of things.
Titi became a big girl. Hello, how are you? Titi now, you know, Titi.
But then let me ask you something. Let's be very honest. You mentioned the fact that she became a big girl. Do you think that was what spurred you on that? So it's because Titi is a big girl now, me too, I'm going to be even bigger. Was that it?
It's the hottest therapy ever.
I'm telling you.
Okay, so for me at the time, I'd always been a hustler, you know, and I think my major driving force, you know, growing up was I just needed to, you know, change my family history and then, you know, switch because I mean, we didn't live in like the best of conditions. So I knew that I was that child, that crowning glory that was going to take my immediate family out of that, you know, situation. So,
but it was similar for me too.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, it was a
so you know the thing is this, both of you have similar stories and you've also been through a lot through the fire. And I feel like there are so many questions I want to ask you, but this is not a therapy session. Maybe we will do a special Wake Up Nigeria edition where we'll talk about this.
At this point,
with you guys,
Mary,
you have become my guest. Oh, money!
But amazingly, over the years, whatever differences we did have hasn't affected our growth.
No, it hasn't.
It hasn't affected.
I find that impressive.
I think it's been a driving force, actually. Funny enough, and
you guys have been pulling each other. I love it.
I love the fact that if I place a call to him, he would pick up, he would have a conversation, and vice versa.
Yeah, Titi. Well, be me that man. Let me tell you what Titi would need to be this morning.
Oh my God.
You know, I should just call. I was about to say I'm on my. She said, you have to bring. See, before she said bring, I just reached out for what she wanted.
Well, because you already knew. Like they have that kind of connection.
It's in my head.
I find it really
voice is like
impressive.
Tiffany's voice is like the beginning of wisdom.
So,
but you know what?
This is the end of the Mary Alimi show. The Mary Alimi show is brought to you by Derele and Titi this morning.
On Wake Up, this is a real wake up call. I am awake.
So you know what, guys? I have so many questions, but as I said, we cannot answer all of them. But I know you have a project. Let's quickly touch on that, and then we'll move on.
Okay, so I mean, everyone knows that you know, on the side, aside from media work, I am some sort of what's the word? Talent hunter pro bono. And I also add star
pro bono.
Yes, so
wow, free.
So what I do
this is the first I'm hearing.
I do a lot of plugins.
Free.
And Olamide once said, I remember that there was a time he wished me happy birthday, and he said, Jerele is the only person in our industry that does not collect commission.
Wow.
I don't. What I do is, once I do my plugins, you know, whatever you get is for you. I know how hectic the industry is. I know how, you know, capital intensive it can be. Keep your money to yourself. What I want to collect from you. So anyway, I digress. Now, this project is a high school series. I know that's a genre that, you know, people have started experimenting with, especially on the YouTube space. But I decided, let me get young people who have never really acted before, you know, sort of, you know,
in the environment,
yes, and hone their talents and, you know, give them some leverage and mileage to, you know, expand.
How long has the production been going on for? And
so,
when is it
so here's the thing. Okay, I'm not allowed to say, but I'll just give you one small gist. So there's this project that I worked on last year, late last year, for a very popular film company. It's one of the Nollywood classics. It's a sequel to one that's already out on a streaming platform. And this is going to be a series, so you watch out for that one. So whilst I was in Abuja shooting, we were also shooting the high school series in Abuja. So I was supervising at the same time. I would say that two notable faces on this project, Ade herself, real Ade herself. She's the lead. Tosin Pedro, who I was here with last year. And then a couple of young enterprising individuals.
I really wish we could talk about
I'm
this
telling you.
project. I feel like
I know, but
I used to talk about this project. I was dragging you guys out.
Pretty soon. And I would invite the cast next month to come onto the studios. And then Atela from Nigerian Idol, who he did the soundtrack. He also featured in it. He was a bad guy in it, you know. He will come do. You see this area for performance. I love it.
Really?
Yes.
Wait till then.
Speaking of performances,
Olorin is ready.
Yes, we have a performer standing by.
Olorin, yes, is been standing by.
Olorin serenade us. Olorin serenade Titi and Ayo.
I don't understand. Am I not here?
Mary, you have been targeting her.
You probably when you travel, somebody to stay away. Bobby, take it over. Listen, you played never where you are alone.
Nice, nice. I've been having this numb headache, you know, so I needed to take as much rest as possible and catch up on my sleep. So it was really nice. Thanks. Laja Nima Akashat Zabiri, how are you?
Fine. It was a nice weekend, working weekend. I had my own time. Relocked my hair. I did a lot of cramping. Yeah, I do it every 2 weeks because it grows so fast. And I couldn't get a session last month. I finally got a session this weekend. Then was naming ceremony party at Itire yesterday. The Bakaris had another Zaid. This is the third Zaid since my Zaid was born that I'm seeing. So they named their son Zaid also. It was really nice event. My lecturers were seated. My justices friends were seated. We were all gathered like a reunion every time one of us is doing something. So congratulations to Mujida and I forgot the first name of her husband, Bakari. Congratulations on the birth of Zaid.
Hello, Mariam. How are you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. On Saturday, I had this mentorship program called KLF. Mentorship program is organized by KidLit First. So it's me just talking to children about writing books, how to write a book, how to become a writer. It was quite interesting. It was virtual, but it was interesting to share my ideas with the little kids. And by the end of the session, they had written their own stories, or they began to write their stories. So it was quite interesting. I love that.
Oh, fantastic.
Enjoyed it.
Yes, not bad. Yesterday was Zach Koya's 85th birthday. Happy birthday to him. Yeah. I mean, he and his friends doing chairman of doing group that's are they doing, they're all there, and the governor was there. It was a really, I mean, what his wife had said was that we have a small gathering just to celebrate. When I got there, I'm like, this is a small gathering. I was like,
maybe that's
I'm like, this is a party. But you know, it was really good to be there and just to see everybody celebrate him. 85 is not a small age, and I think it was Tia that was saying that he was the MC on his 60th birthday. So he's been there every year. So that's 25 years ago. And he's so happy that he's also here on his 85th birthday. Hopefully, by God's grace, we'll celebrate his 90th. But congratulations to him and the entire family of Chief Razak Koya. Okay, let's go on a very short break now. It's one of those slow Mondays where we just take things today. But hopefully, things will pick up soon. We're going to break. We'll be right back with our front page papers. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Federal government ministerial panel to enforce council autonomy. INEC plans diaspora and inmates voting. NDLE intercepts Australia-bound drug dealer. Nigeria partners Ethiopia's first securities exchange. Stampede, Oyo slams 18-count charge on Naomi and others. ISWAP, no cause for alarm, says Southwest states. Lawmakers seek special status for Lagos. We don't owe First Bank $225 million, says General Hydrocarbons. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I take the General Hydrocarbon story because I took the beginning of it. And so General Hydrocarbon responded to
That's a name.
First Bank.
No,
he did not respond in his personal capacity. He responded. In fact, somebody responded on his behalf. The Director of Strategy and Operations, Abdul Muiz Bello, on behalf of GHL, accused the First Bank of abuse of court process in this order that the First Bank had gotten that froze all assets linked to their Oga at the top, Nduka Bayagbena. And they brought out details. They said that what they have with the First Bank is a subrogation agreement, and a subrogation agreement is one where you accept liabilities or assets of some form in exchange for something else. So they are insisting that they have this arrangement in 2021, May 29, with the First Bank, and they agreed that the GHL said that the First Bank should fund the exploration, production and development of OML 120, that's the oil well in question, in exchange for sharing profits from oil proceeds from the OML in a 50-50 ratio after all statutory payments and taxes were paid over 8 years. He said the First Bank's 50% share would then be used to pay down its non-performing loan of about $718 million, which was also discounted to go at $600 million to resolve First Bank's insolvency issues. They are insisting at the time to keep the bank afloat. The bank had to do this arrangement, and their loan was then sold at $600 million as an eligible banking asset, which with comfort the GHL, that's the General Hydrocarbon, agreed to go into that agreement with them. The First Bank collected cash from AMCON, which they then rebuilt the bank without GHL's needs. Then the First Bank's non-performing loan rose from FBN's unsecured and reckless lending to another oil well, Atlantic Energy, under a separate strategic alliance agreement.
Okay, I got lost somewhere there. Not really sure, but you understand what you're reading?
Yeah, I understand. You're getting lost. Okay, so
yeah.
They have an arrangement with GHL, which is the General Hydrocarbon, and they were supposed to fund an oil well for them, and the production and all the exploration happening there for a 50% arrangement. At the time they went into the agreement, they are insisting First Bank was already having solvency issues, which means they were already like bankrupt.
So they needed that money.
Yeah, they needed the money, and so they paid this money over time, which kept First Bank afloat.
Gotcha.
So they are now separating themselves from another arrangement, that a loan that First Bank gave to Atlantic Energy, which now cost First Bank to lose another standing, and then bringing that to them. They brought it all the way to their recapitalization, which happened recently, saying that First Bank, if they had recapitalized on their existing status, they would have declared a negative of 46 billion, but that they went on and they declared an excess of 377 million for the year ending of 2020. So the details, go and read Nation, you plenty. I read it. It was very long. There's no way to summarize this. Every paragraph is giving you information, but I'm interested in this story.
I have NDLEA. So a 40-foot trailer load of skunk, that's a strain of cannabis weighing 2,217.6 kilograms, had been intercepted by operatives of the NDLEA. This trailer was seized while it was distributing the drugs into 6 vehicles at an abandoned fuel station in Kubwa, the FCT. And these vehicles were planned to, go to the north for distributions in the northern parts of the country. They said that the NDLEA operation took place about 1:20 a.m. on Saturday. Not only did they seize the drugs, they also seized the trailer and 6 other vehicles. Then a 42-year-old Isaac Monday Desmond is the suspect that was arrested in connection to this particular one. Then they said the consignment was loaded into a trailer at Uzeba in Owan local government area. So Owan East or West, I'm not sure, it's not stated here. And then further. They were caught.
Okay.
Then there was also another raid in the FCT. 2 suspects, Anthony Namdi 42, Abali 27, were arrested by NDLEA. They had a combined 1.38 kg cocaine and a precursor substance used in preparing crack cocaine recovered from them. No fewer than 20 wraps of cocaine weighing 330 grams have been recovered from cargo going to Australia by logistics, and so on and so forth. As you know, they give us like a breakdown of what they do of the operations, you know, in a period. And so well done again, NDLEA, for this big win.
Okay, so the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is pushing for reforms that would permit voting by Nigerians in the diaspora and inmates at the correctional centers. Also, if the proposals receive the National Assembly's approval, persons engaged in essential services during elections, including security personnel and agents and journalists, would also have the opportunity to cast their votes during the general elections, because usually they are so busy, you know, trying to secure the places. Journalists are trying to get news and they end up not casting their votes. The Commission also requested the National Assembly to expedite action on passing the law establishing the Electoral Offences Commission and Political Party Registration and Regulatory Commission. It stated that a separate Electoral Offences Tribunal would lift the burden of investigating and prosecuting electoral offenders from the agency. Also, they submitted a 75-page INEC report of recommendations on the 2023 general elections. You know, it was presented to the Senate and House Committee on Electoral Matters over the weekend by INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu. Some of the observations included interference in the electoral process by the political class, the attitude of polling agents and election observers at polling units, the deployment of technology for election, low turnout of voters, and increased involvement of the political class in violence. Yes, the report also stated that 142 actionable recommendations were harvested, and of these, 86 require action solely by NEC, 42 by NEC in collaboration with other entities, 3 by the security agencies, 8 by the National Assembly, and 1 by both the federal and state government. So I hope that these recommendations can be looked at, and then we see what will happen, and that they are ready for the next election.
Okay. So the Lagos State House of Assembly has renewed its call on the National Assembly to provide Lagos a special status in the ongoing constitutional review. The chairman of the House Committee on Information, Mr. Stephen Ogundipe, made the call in an interview with NAN, that's the news agency of Nigeria, in Lagos yesterday. He noted that over the years, Lagos State deserves a special status because it's the economic nerve center of the country. He gave 3 instances. He said that Lagos, first of all, Lagos was the capital of the federal until 1991, back in December 12th. So secondly, Lagos has been critical to the economic development of the country and is generally regarded as the economic nerve center. And finally, the state plays host to many economic and strategic agencies, including critical revenue organs of the nation. The most viable international airport is located in the state, as well as 2 most viable seaports in the country, accounting for 90% of all maritime trade. So he's also saying again, as we've said here in the past, that Lagos deserves a special status in the constitutional review that is ongoing right now. Okay, moving on now to the nation. Serial outages, Dangote and NPCL in Punch. Total 247 firms dump discos, generate 6,500 megawatts. This is PDP factional secretary said for showdown, vow to resume today. NAF, that's Nigerian Air Force, unveils tough rules to curb airman's exodus. Again, 16 civilians killed as NAF bombs Zamfara bandits. Al Carter intervened to save me from Abacha's gulag, says Obasanjo. Ogun housewife stabs husband to death for alleged infidelity. Stampede, Oyo files murder charges against Oni's ex-queen and others. 80th anniversary, GCU to honor Channels TV, Shell, Chevron buses and others. And California Fire Trump blames leaders for poor response as 16 people died. Okay,
we have the sad story of the Oyo State. So the ex-queen of Oni of Ife, Naomi Shilekunla, the proprietor of the Ibadan-based radio, Riyomi Hamzat, and the principal of the Islamic High School, Bashorun Ibadan, Abdullahi Fasasi, have been charged with 8-count charge bordering around murder, manslaughter, conspiracy to commit a felony, conspiracy to commit an offense of criminal negligence, and for the particular charges for the principal, failure to provide crowd control. So the state is alleging that they were negligent, they omitted to provide adequate security, crowd control mechanism and medical facilities to prevent a stampede at a children's fun fair which they organized. And he said that their omission led to the death of Musliu Sophia, an 8-year-old, and 34 other children. And so they are charging them. The principal of Asasi faces a trial on a 4-count charge, including conspiracy, acceleration of death, negligent act causing harm, and failure to provide adequate security and medical facility. The governor had said that they must be made to face the book, they must be prosecuted. But this is every time we take it, is a very sad one.
Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. One cube, endless possibilities.
Uh-oh, here comes Big Mommy. I know exactly what she's going to say. Every year, without fail, it's the same thing.
Stand up. You so tall.
And every year, I love it.
No buy am. But why? No see say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull Rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull Rice. Tasty rice nourished you.
Pack your bags. Betano is giving you the chance to win an all-expenses paid trip to the UK. Play with Betano and watch live the big game of Aston Villa versus Tottenham at the iconic Villa Park. Ready for an unforgettable football experience? Betano, proud partner of Aston Villa.
Happy New Year! It's 2025, people!
Cheers to an amazing 2025. Happy New Year!
Oh, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Welcome to a year of growth and success. Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Yes, to a fresh start.
Happy New Year!
This year bring you peace and happiness.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
I wish you say Happy New Year once again. I wish you well.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. Let me take the story on our former president, Obasanjo, who actually organized a memorial in honor of Jimmy Carter, the former president of American president who passed. According to former President Olusegun Obasanjo on Sundays, he expressed his heartfelt tribute to the late American president Jimmy Carter, describing him as humanist par excellence. According to him, he was saying that he was the one that got Abacha to release him from detention into house arrest. According to him, in 1995, after criticizing the military junta, he credits Carter with playing a crucial role in his eventual freedom. Obasanjo served as military head of state from 1976 to 1979. If you recall, during that time, Carter had visited Nigeria around that time. Reflecting on Carter's legacy, Obasanjo recalled the courage and commitment Carter showed not only in his humanitarian work, but also in his efforts to address the vestiges of the colonialism. So he said that he came around in 78, and there was a visit that marked the first time a sitting U.S. president would come to Nigeria, and that led to his eventual release from prison. So he was just giving him a tribute.
So I have no fewer than 16 vigilantes have been reportedly killed in an airstrike in Kakindal village, Meridian local government area of Zamfara. So an indigene of the area, his name is Garba Umar, and he told reporters that he described it as an accidental bombing. He says that vigilantes were headed to a particular village, Tungarkara, around 3:30 p.m. when they fell victim. So he said that bandits had come into this particular village to rustle cattle and to kidnap, residents, and they had rounded, they got their vigilantes together to help this village. As they approached there was the airstrike, and then they dropped the bomb. Unfortunately, according to his account, it killed the vigilante, and that was the bandits themselves had already run into the forest. So it was just the vigilantes. He says they counted 16 people, including his son, in this very sad occurrence. The paper also said that, they had tried to reach out to the military, the Air Force as well, but they didn't get any reply. But they released a statement stating that the troops of Operation Fansenyema carried out a coordinated air and ground assault in Zamfara State, neutralizing scores of bandits loyal to notorious kingpin Kachala Bello Turji. And also the Zamfara State governor confirmed both the NAF operations and the civilian casualties. He says that they have received multiple positive reports of the precision attacks carried out by the air component of Operation Fansenyema over the weekend in troubled Maraden and Zermi local government areas. He says the intervention by military has significantly degraded the operational capacity of the bandits and has shown the commitment of Nigeria Air Force to carry out its constitutional mandate of protecting civilians and safeguarding the lives and property of people, and then expressed regrets that some members of the task force and local vigilantes were also affected during this operation.
Okay. So I have a 22-year-old lady identified as Eyano Adedeji, allegedly stabbed her husband Funsho Jimo to death in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital. It was said that over the weekend on Sunday that the couple that's been married for 8 years and that they have 2 children got into a scuffle. The husband had accused the wife of extramarital affair, and they started fighting. And the wife used the domestic knife, the kitchen knife, to stab her husband in the chest. While she realized that he was bleeding, she quickly rushed him to the Federal Medical Center, Idiaba, where the doctor on duty confirmed him dead. She then further took herself to the police station to go and report herself to the police station to tell them what happened. She has been arrested, and investigations are underway. It's a sad story. We should learn to control our anger and not act on impulse, and
very sad indeed. Yeah. Every story. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Very quickly, debt servicing gulps 8.94 trillion in 9 months as deficit widens. Peter Obi charges new Ohaneze leadership on Nigeria's unity. And there's a story inside. CBN unveils diaspora-friendly accounts to boost investments, bars local deposits. Okay, which story? I was going to take the diaspora accounts because it's many Nigerians living abroad will be happy to hear this. So the CBN has unveiled 2 new financial products aimed at attracting investments from Nigerians living abroad. The non-resident Nigerian ordinary account, that's NRNOA, and the non-resident Nigerian investment account, which is NRNIA, are designed to provide diaspora Nigerians with secure channels to manage funds and invest in Nigeria's economy. Currently, many Nigerians in diaspora use third parties. They send money to somebody, they transfer the money, put in their accounts, stuff like that. So this is a more secure way that can help and facilitate easier access for financing, also to invest in Nigeria's economy. These accounts will provide NRNs, as non-resident Nigerians, with a secure environment to manage their accounts directly, reducing their reliance on third parties, and allows them to remit foreign earnings such as salaries, dividends, and rental income to Nigerians and manage funds in both foreign and local currencies. So it makes things easier for them. So hopefully that's good news for Nigerians abroad. And the story?
Yes. I said, no, in Vanguard.
No.
David's son, right?
Son.
Yes. The leader of the opposition Labour Party at the 2023 presidential flag bearer, Mr. Peter Obi, has admonished the newly elected leadership of Ahanes Ndibu, led by Senator John Azuta Mbata, to work towards peace and unity of the nation. He urged them to he urged him and the people that were elected with him to leverage their position, which shows the people's confidence in them, to strengthen the Igbo family and unite the country. He also stated that they should contribute immeasurable to ideas that would drive development, peace and progress among the people, the Igbo people, and also Nigeria, the nation as a whole.
Okay. Vanguard. OPEC quota eludes Nigeria amid rising oil output. Serap drags federal government governors to ECOWAS court over misuse of Cyber Crimes Act. Christian leaders chide Tinubu for attending the Arab Islamic Summit. Emirship tussle, Bayero heads to Supreme Court. PDP crisis, fear grips secretariat staff as activities resume. Repentant bandits seek forgiveness over atrocities. And Chile, NFF begs Nigerians to support him.
Okay, so I have the Emirship tussle. According to the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, it says nobody can celebrate the victory on this issue because the matter is still pending. He has appealed. He said he has informed his lawyers to go on appeal to the Supreme Court from after the appeal court ruled that the Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II is the 16th Emir of Kano, and that he has gone on that appeal. So, which means that he status quo remains until the Supreme Court judgment comes. And he said that he has strong belief that the Supreme Court will reverse this because in the appeal court, two of the judges, you know, it takes three to have a panel at the appeal court, said two of them had been arguing. And so he doesn't see that there was quorum on the judgment, and he thinks that it should have been struck out. So he has gone to the appeal court to vary it.
So, okay, go ahead.
Should I? Yes. Days after the authorities in Kaduna State, in collaboration with the Office of the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Rubadu, they entered a peace pact with bandits in Birnin Gwari local government area. Many of the repentant bandits in Birnin Gwari, Emirate, Buruku, and Sabon Birnin community have sought forgiveness for atrocities that they have committed. They've also assured the governor of the state, Ubasani, and the NCA, Malo Nuhu Rubadu, that they will be law-abiding citizens in the future. They said that, and also they're asking that they've lived solitary lives all this time in the forest, and they've been isolated from normal life over a decade, and they'll be happy if the government would give them a sense of belonging, allow their children to attend schools. Fulani elder claims to be a representative of the bandit kingpin, Jambros, and the Fulani community leader said that it was time for all Fulani leaders across the Federation to talk to their subjects and convince them to fully embrace the peace process. Now, you know, the local council boss is happy with this, and they're saying that they believe that this will bring some peace back, you know, to the community, and, you know, to make it sustainable. They'll be having meetings regularly to talk about this. But as you know, the bandits have wreaked havoc in this area. They said this particular area they had razed, all banks were razed, the post office destroyed, schools vandalized. Only the military and other security forces could remain to stop criminals from completely annexing this historic town, you know, that has carved a niche as a major gateway to the southwestern part of Nigeria. As you know, this conversation has always had like two sides. Some people don't believe that bandits should get any form of forgiveness, but some people feel that maybe that's another way forward. I would like to hear, you know, after this comes out, what people in Kaduna State feel, you know, about granting them forgiveness and asking them to come back and live amongst, you know, regular people in their communities.
Okay. Any other stories in Vanguard? There's a story that caught my attention. I'm not even sure if I should take the story because the National Christian Elders Forum criticized the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for participating in Arab Islamic Summit. held in Saudi Arabia. He recently describing it as violation of Nigeria's constitutional secularism. In a statement by the Deputy Governor of the Taraba State, Dr. Samuel Danjuma, he said that the Section 10 of the 1999 Constitution explicitly prohibits governments from adopting any religion as a state religion. So therefore, he said that the fact that he attended the summit is obviously preferring one religion to the other. I'm not sure how that works. It's actually an interesting conversation to have, because the truth is that he is a Muslim, and if he attends an Islamic summit, does that mean that he's representing the entire nation in that regard? It's a conversation worth having, but it's not a hot topic.
What kind of conversations do they have at this summit that we feel we're threatened by?
No, because he's a Christian president. Wouldn't he go to...
no, but he's a president. He's supposed to be for every religion, for everybody.
But he has a personal religion too. He's also a human being. I'm just.
And there are many Nigerians that are also Muslims. I don't know. It would be
It's just interesting.
I think
Just
for
like-
me
just like the
personally,
Queen
it would
doesn't
be
stand
what are
anywhere.
these conversations that I had at this summit, and how does it affect the a Nigerian, the Nigerian at home, who is not a Muslim.
But is he okay? And is he entitled as a person, as a Christian, to attend Israel, to go to office? I don't know. We'll see. Let's go on a short break. It's not our hot topic today, but I think it's a good conversation. It has different sides, so it's a good conversation. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
It all started here. Like millions of Nigerian boys, my dream was to play for the Super Eagles. New Bisco Costa biscuit fills me up, gives me strength and energy to do well. It is hard work and you need extra energy and strength to succeed. Scoring goals that will last for a lifetime. Creamy, crunchy, New Bisco Costa.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita, prepare them to win every day.
Peak Mini Bag fits your pocket. Contains the right nourishment you need for your breakfast. Creamy and tasty in your meal.
This Peak Mini is just my perfect size, filled with the right nutrients, just for me.
This Peak Mini dey sweet my belly. Who fit believe say me sef fit do shakara with better enjoyment?
Enjoyment. Now this kind of breakfast I want the top now. Enjoy the Peak Mini Bag. Breakfast for you. Peak. Reach for your peak.
One choice, multiple styles. All big, all unique.
Happy New Year! It's 2025, people!
Cheers to an amazing 2025. Happy New Year!
Oh, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Welcome to a year of growth and success. Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Yes, to a fresh start.
Happy New Year!
This year bring you peace and happiness.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
I wish you the same. Happy New Year once again. I wish you well.
As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
Bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you seize your day one step at a time. On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Max Hits.
Area, waiting the apple, waiting the shop. You need to award winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a Max Highway.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Sheen. Let's go.
102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Level 2, electrified fence. It's terrifying. Let's get out of here.
Hey Nick fam! Remember, Nick on TVC is your one-stop for engaging children's shows like El Tigre, Paw Patrol, SpongeBob SquarePants, Kung Fu Panda, and lots more to keep the kids glued to their screens. Catch us on Mondays to Fridays at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. and
now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Thanks for staying with us. According to the report, Nigeria now has $52.88 million to fund the rural electrification project and to support its counter-terrorism project. The funds were recovered from the United States as proceeds of forfeited assets linked to former Minister of Petroleum Resources Diezani Alison Madueke and her associates. The Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, has commended the return of looted funds and demands accountability and applaud the collaboration between the Nigeria and U.S. government in achieving this milestone. Join us on the show in Abuja from our Abuja studios to discuss his thoughts on this is the Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAC, himself, Mr. Awal Musa Rafsanjani. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you and good morning and Happy New Year.
Good to have you on the show. We read your comments concerning the retrieval of this amount of money, and I would just like to hear your initial thoughts when you heard about this, getting back this amount of money from sources linked to former Minister of Petroleum Alison Madueke.
Well, first and foremost, I think it is a good development for Nigeria and for Nigerians. Nigerians are gradually winning against those who deprive them from access to quality life by siphoning public taxpayers' money. So therefore, this recovery is one of the major landmarks that really, give us hope and confidence that if we sustain this effort and block leakages, we will not allow public officials who are unpatriotic to be siphoning public taxpayers' money. Secondly, this also shows the strong international cooperation between Nigeria and other countries, which CISLAC and so many other organizations had been actually advocating for. I remember in 2017 when we had a Global Forum for Access Recovery. This was part of the understanding that the global leaders agreed on, that there is need to sustain, international cooperation in terms of seizure of recovered or rather looted money abroad. So Nigeria has done well in terms of really engaging the international community, which civil society have been playing role, in terms of ensuring that this understanding is sustained. In terms of the getting the funds, it is also important that these funds are going to be channeled to a very visible and very important project that Nigerians can actually see and touch and feel, unlike the previous recoveries that Nigerians did not actually see much of its impact on them. So going forward, we want to encourage the Nigerian government to ensure more openness, more proper communication, more updates and progress in terms of the utilization of this asset. Okay. Not only international recovered asset, but domestic asset, which we believe is even higher than the international recovery that we have done. So if there's no credible information on what these assets are being used for, Nigerians will not see the value and the effort that government has done. Okay. But if government sustain openness, accountability and transparency in the management of this asset, as provided in our crime act 2022, Proceed of Crime Act 2022, it will really help, and also with the various international commitments that Nigeria has actually committed itself. Okay. So civil society will continue to support effort of government to ensure that these assets are recovered. Right. But more importantly, civil society will continue to work with the government to ensure that we block leakages. We do not even allow public officials to even steal these funds in the first place.
Let me get a few more questions for you.
When you,
let me get a few more questions for you. So in line with, we're happy that this has happened, and then in line with the fact that we lack transparency, as a nation, do you think like also forming a committee whereby we can actually know between the publics and the political parties, that we can know what exactly it is this money is being used for, that is actually being utilized for what is supposed to be utilized? And then secondly, do you also think it's important for the terms, for the full terms of the agreement of all, amongst all the parties, between all parties, to be made as a public document for everybody to know what is in it?
Yeah, so under this agreement, we have seen very clear very clarity in terms of how the management of these funds will be. So first, Nigeria, American government and the World Bank will work together to ensure that these funds are actually put in a very trusted, dedicated account that will not be mingling, like we've seen in the past. Secondly, there will be a proper accounting procedure. In the previous recovery, you do not have any audit report or even progress report on how recovered assets have been utilized. So this new innovation contained in this agreement is very good to enhance transparency and encourage even international community to do more in terms of ensuring that they return this asset. Because in the past, the allegation is that Nigeria will recover this money, we will do all the effort that we will do to get this money back, and yet there's no accountability on how these assets are actually utilized. So this time around, you are going to have progress report, you are going to have audit report, and there will be a kind of oversight on how this project are carried out. And definitely there will be involvement of non-state actors to observe how this project are implemented. So it is very innovative ideas that will enhance more transparency and accountability in the assets recovered and not only in the international level, but also domestically, we should apply this, process if we are going to restore hope and confidence on the citizens and international community that Nigeria is actually ready to open up to ensure that its citizens benefit from these looted funds that some wicked public officials have, stolen in the first place.
Let me get a few more questions for you.
Nigerian government.
Okay, so the American government stated specifically what they want us to use this $52 million for, and they also said it will be channeled through the World Bank to partly fund our rural electrification project to increase the reliability and availability of renewable energy in Nigeria, and also the 2.88 million would be disbursed to as a grant to Nigeria to the International Institute of Justice to support the rule of law and counter-terrorism project. Since you're commending this, do you completely agree with this, or have you seen any criticism against this decision by the U.S. government to tell us what to do with our money that was missing all these years?
Well, ideally, if we have not abused the global confidence and trust and the citizens, confidence, nobody should have told us, what to do. But the truth is that previous recovery that have been done, you cannot actually see the impact. The citizens have not seen the impact on that. And the allegation is that right from Obasanjo period to today, you recover this money and it gets looted, allegedly. So this time around, it is important that, because the ultimate beneficiary for this is supposed to be the citizens, not government official. And if there will be an arrangement that Nigerian government and the country where these funds are in the possibilities be, domicile, if there will be understanding that this is going to be used for the citizens, I think, it's better than to return the money and the money get disappeared. So ideally, because if you look at the 2025 budget, so much, frivolous, proposal for spending, on cars and so many things that have nothing to do with dealing with poverty, dealing with the economy in the country. So if rural electrification that will help to improve productivity, that will get Nigerians to have access to energy, if it will be used for that, I believe Nigerians will welcome it and they will not have any objection. Secondly, everybody knows that our judicial system is so, allegedly corrupt, so bastardized, so compromised, and if we can use some part of this, funds to train our judiciary, to reform judiciary, so that judiciary can actually be, an avenue for ensuring administrative justice system in the country, I don't think it is a problem for Nigerians. Thirdly, everybody knows that the terrorism in this country has large scale impact, negative impact on Nigerians. And if we can use this fund to deal decisively with the terrorists and the terrorist financing in this country, I think many Nigerians will not have objection, because terrorism and violence and criminality has actually undermined progress in this country. Other countries are making progress in terms of science, technology, economy.
Comrade, I have to pause you for a second.
But in the case of Nigeria, terrorism financing has been a major stumbling block. Our financial institutions are being used to finance terrorism, to sponsor terrorism in this country.
Okay,
and if we can block those leakages, and that would be great.
All right. Thank you, Comrade. Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Doesn't mean buying a new one. Unbelievable, right? But with the new Airtel Smart Router, you can now watch YouTube on any TV and also get unlimited data for 30 days to stream thrilling Nollywood movies, catch up on football highlights, and keep your kids engaged with edutainment all on YouTube. With the Airtel Smart Router, everyone gets what they love. Get the smart router plus unlimited data for 25,000 naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Hey, Nana! Again? That's so easy, welcome, my friend. Kids! Stop it, Abba! Children. I know, right? But how do you do it? Your husband and children are looking good. See my own children. Hi! I don't want to get belly again. I don't want to get belly again, no.
Nana, why not be Lydia IUD Smart?
Lydia IUD Smart.
With Lydia IUD, you can have the children you can afford and space them between 5 to 10 years. And you can still give birth or remove it anytime you want. Just call 7790. That is the code to freedom and enjoyment.
Love. Enjoyment, mistress. Thanks.
Show off your best skin this Harmattan with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion. Now with 5-in-1 complete care. The deeply nourishing formula prevents your skin from drying out. With precious cocoa butter and deep moisture for smooth and healthy looking skin. Love your skin this Harmattan with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa 5-in-1 complete care.
Treasure in a smally pack. Buy in any available store today. 3 Crown.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have Comrade Awa with us. Mariam had a question.
Yeah, so Comrade, I would like to know what role you believe CISLAC can play in monitoring the proper utilization of this particular recovered funds, and if there have been any instances where CISLAC has been involved in arrangements like this, and how did that impact how it was utilized, or what were the challenges that you faced, and then also how you think regular Nigerians can be part of monitoring and utilization of funds like this that have been looted funds that have been received like this in the country.
Yeah, so CISLAC and the other civil society organizations in Nigeria have been working both in Nigeria and at international level. You recall in December 2017, we were in Washington, D.C., where the global leaders met and had, this fundamental, agreement or principle of asset recovery were actually adopted. And part of it, of course, has to do with the citizens' involvement, has to do with international cooperation, has to do also with the fact that if somebody who, assisted in looting the funds, and when the fund comes, that person or group of persons must not benefit from it. So CISLAC has been going around all over the world to advocate for the return of the Nigerian asset. We actually, even in the of recent, the government of France actually, finally enacted a legal framework on recovering assets back to Africa and Nigeria in particular. And this is also part of what CISLAC participated even in the formulation of this legal framework in France. Transparency International, France, with the CISLAC and France Parliament were actually there to share experience and suggest ways in which the French government can actually enact legal framework that will enable them return assets of Africa and Nigeria in particular. So CISLAC participated in that, meetings. We have also been working with our colleagues in the UK to ensure that money that have been stolen that are meant to buy arms and procurement, of arms are also returned. If you recall, a court in the UK had actually ruled that money that was meant to buy arms and ammunition that some Nigerian official diverted that money through the effort of Transparency International UK and Transparency International Nigeria, CISLAC, we were able to put pressure and get the money back to Nigeria. And I tell you, a lot of these efforts have been going on, what civil society organization has been making, and we never demanded any favor or any gratification. We do it because we believe in our country, and we believe that this is the best way to show that you actually love your country. If people have diverted or stolen assets or resources that are meant to help address poverty, inequality, and development, and as a civil society, what you should do is to ensure that you support government to ensure that that money is returned. So that's part of what we have been doing at global level, even at European Union. We did the same thing. We met with the European Union, and they also committed to returning assets to Nigeria and Africa. So civil society organization like CISLAC has been at the forefront of supporting the effort of government to do that. The only thing we are asking is that when these assets are returned, let it be spent judiciously, let it be spent on the people. Let us make effort to make sure that the development that the students are supposed to experience that have been denied, let this funds be used to ensure that that has been done. The other aspect is that locally, the local, or rather the domestic recovered assets that have been recovered by government, not much effort has been done to ensure that there's a democratization of information on what it has been used. But with the coming of Proceeds of Crime Act, we are hoping that there will be more better cooperation, coordination, and sharing of information, because currently in Nigeria you have several agencies that are recovering assets, about 8 of them, from custom to EFCC to ICPCs to NLD.
So that was going to be
quite a number of them. They are all recovering assets, and there has not been.
That was going to lead me to my final question to you. How many more of these funds are we expecting? What else is civil society monitoring across board, both locally and domestically? And what should Nigerians be expecting from the government as regards to recovery of funds?
So the last administration of Muhammadu Buhari, when some of the Adverts loot came, that was effort by the United States government again to ensure that civil society monitored some of the projects that the Nigerian government say will do. But the truth is that for you to effectively and efficiently monitor this project, you have to have the credible information, about the project, the site, and where the project is located, so that you can actually play an oversight role. As it is now, we need, to ensure that Nigerians are able to observe or to monitor projects that are supposed to be implemented in this country. And, I believe that if civil society organization can play that important role, I think it will really help in terms of yielding more positive results on some of these
Unfortunately,
projects.
we have to wrap up here. Our
CISLAC, again, will continue to support efforts to ensure that all the recovered assets domestically and internationally are properly utilized for the benefit of Nigerian people.
Thank you very much for speaking to Comrade Awal. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Comrade Awal Rafsanjani, he is the Executive Director of CISLAC. It was a pleasure having you on our show this morning. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
What if upgrading your TV doesn't mean buying a new one? Unbelievable, right? But with the new Airtel Smart Router, you can now watch YouTube on any TV and also get unlimited data for 30 days to stream thrilling Nollywood movies, catch up on football highlights, and keep your kids engaged with edutainment all on YouTube. With the Airtel Smart Router, everyone gets what they love. Get the Smart Router plus unlimited data for 25,000 Naira. Visit the nearest Airtel shop to get yours. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
It all started here. Like millions of Nigerian boys, my dream was to play for the Super Eagles. New Bisco Costa biscuit fills me up, gives me strength and energy to do well. It is hard work and you need extra energy and strength to succeed. Scoring goals that will last for a lifetime. Creamy, crunchy, new Bisco Costa.
Peak Mini Bag fits your pocket, contains the right nourishment you need for your breakfast, creamy and tasty in your meal.
This Peak Mini is just my perfect size, filled with the right nutrients, just for me.
This Peak Mini dey sweet my belly. Who fit believe say me self fit do shakara with better enjoyment?
Enjoyment. Now this kind of breakfast I want the top now.
Enjoy the Peak Mini Bag. Breakfast for you. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Pack your bags. Betano is giving you the chance to win an all-expenses paid trip to the UK. Play with Betano and watch live the big game of Aston Villa versus Tottenham at the iconic Villa Park. Ready for an unforgettable football experience? Betano, proud partner of Aston Villa.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Okay, so now let's get to the intimate part.
Exactly.
Now. So do you feel this whole enhancement, the whole you do boobs, you do ass, does it now make you good in bed? You do your dick, does it make you good in bed? You do abs, are you now more attracted to your partner?
Are you more confident?
Exactly, to now perform well.
As a woman, you
have
bigger breasts, you have bigger. Come on, you feel more sexier.
Okay.
It's affecting in bed.
Okay, Beverly, you know what?
No,
I really want to hear
the
your take,
experience of it. It doesn't change the experience.
I want to hear Desmond's side. I want to hear your own, but your own is making me feel somehow.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
I'm being serious.
Is
now.
that your trousers are going on?
Hey!
Hagulalumo!
Yes,
LGBTQ.
Oh my God.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707-272-8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
Thanks for staying with us. So a disturbing video trended over the weekend involving a young woman who was allegedly accused by her employer of theft. In the video, the lady is seen brutally being beaten, molested, and stripped of her clothes in an inhumane treatment. No one should ever endure such a torture, especially when striving to earn your living. We cannot show the video, obviously, because we're on TV. However, the idea was that this woman was flogged with the whip, and she was repeatedly beaten all over. Now, this is something that, again, we've seen this happen in the past when you're young kids, when somebody is accused of stealing, you know, they call them in the open, they beat them up. But things have changed, and people are seeing things differently. So you can join the conversation. It went viral, and it was quite disturbing. But you can call us on 090-241-63440. You can also send us messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. The reason why we're taking this story again is because this is a practice we've seen over and over again many years ago. We've done this where, I mean, I have witnessed one where in the bus stop someone was accused of stealing, and they put the person, they got all the kids around to sing around the child, gave them sticks to beat up the person because he's a thief. Now, for us, that was normal. You know, that's something we've seen. But as I said, things are different. We realize that people deserve some kind of dignity and respect, even if they are wrong. So, in this story that went viral, it was quite disturbing, and it's important for us to discuss it, to remind ourselves of how we should do things when things go out of hand. But let's start with this story, that the allegations. Nima, would you like to tell us exactly your thoughts on this story?
What I read was that, you know, the girl had been accused of stealing from her employer, and we could not see item, nobody investigated, which is why self-help is always an injustice. Yes, I didn't say he didn't lose anything. I'm not saying, because we can't verify either his side or her side. But what we can verify is that there's a video making the rounds, and that she was thoroughly battered in that video, and that should not be allowed by any law, any country that has law, that kind of thing. So it should not be allowed. And I would expect that just the way the DSVA would see a video of somebody being slapped around, or a child being slapped by his teacher, and take action, I would expect the police would take action immediately for this girl's sake. You know, so every time you accuse a person, that's simply an allegation. 2 weeks back, I told you about how my son parked his bike outside the gate to open the gate for me when I was coming from work. It was a Friday. I came back home tired. I had a little headache. I told the kids I wanted to sleep. And just as I was dozing off to my village, I got a call from the bike repairer. Fortunately, he's outside the gate, the estate gate. Saw somebody far older than my children riding on the bike, and he said he tried to stop the person, and the person didn't stop. So we went on a chase after the person around the neighborhood, and we found this, what they call popularly iron condemned people, who had already bought the bike. He sold the bike for 15,000, and by the time I insisted that the buyer was in trouble, since I can't find the seller, that this bike is my son's bike, I have all receipts for it. I bought it from a bike seller in Festac, and it's over 5 years old. But I'm going to catch the seller. They told me to wait, since they saw that I was a bit popular in the neighborhood. They got the seller for me. By the time he came, obviously on drugs, he looked unkept. He had already spent 8,000 of the money. He only had 8,000 left of the money. 7 had gone. He looked unkept. They started arguing. He said, I told you the other ones, I gave you 15. Back and forth. Before I would say Jack, pow, they have slapped him. Before I would say this, I kept saying, if I face this one, it's okay, don't beat him. The next person, I feel like beating him myself, but I'd rather just get him to a police station. I was even first of all relieved that my son can at least have his bike. And then I faced this one, stop. There were more than 20 men, sticks, cane, everything that were going to beat him. One thing that came to mind is, if they beat him, he might learn a lesson. Something can happen, he might just die. And then the only person who has a name is mine. They will come back to me. Yeah. I kept trying to, it's okay, stop, let him go. Let's take it to authority. And locally, they have their own authority. Okay. And I was too tired to go to the police station. I said I had a headache. So we were going back and forth, and they wouldn't listen. I dragged the boy and said, okay, police station now, I want to take him. They released him to me. And as we were going, everybody on the way showed up. Somebody showed up and said he bumped into him, he must pay. Another person showed up and said, I stopped you, you didn't stop, you must pay. Now, none of the real parties aggrieved were the ones beating him. So when you see this kind of justices happening, everybody has their score they are settling. Nobody is settling your score. It was my son's bike. I was the one at least acting in my son's capacity, but I didn't demand a thing of him except the bike. Every other person that stopped him insisted he must pay something. They took him from me to their own local authority. That's the only way, because they were still going to beat him. So this kind of self-help is always an injustice when you see it. You have not proved that the person stole. You are only accusing the person. It takes a body, the justice system, a proper system, to investigate a crime and prosecute for the crime for us to have fairness. And so this must be stopped. And the girl has every right to counter-sue him, or sue him if he hasn't sued her, for assault and battery, and get all the compensation she can. This is too much, too demeaning.
I feel like you've finished it. You've discussed it thoroughly. Of course, being a lawyer, what you expect. But just from someone just watching this, for me, I would say, as you know, I've always been an advocate for non-violent measures to address a lot of these things, especially when we have laws. We have the police station, we have courts. I think that there has to be a way that we do this properly. We need to understand that we're in a new world, things are changing. And it's not only because sometimes when we say it, it almost seems as if it's a cop-out, like criminals can now get away with bad behavior. No, it's also protecting you, the person who has been aggrieved. As given the example that Nima gave, in case if anything had happened to this person that you're punishing and you have taken the laws into your hand, everybody will forget the crime that person has committed, and all of a sudden you'll be dealing with a whole different matter. So this has to be first self-preservation. How do I protect myself and also get justice for myself? So please leave this violent beating and throwing people around. I don't think it's right. Also, there's something about this kind of conversations that I'm not comfortable about, is where you pick someone and you accuse the person. For us, we don't see the process of investigating properly or finding out if this person has indeed committed the crime. And also, there's something about intention, when a crime is committed. The why. Was the person in what sort of situation was the person in? Was the person, where sometimes some people would actually create a situation where you find yourself, you find yourself in trouble. You don't mean to commit a crime, but someone is looking for ways to, I'm looking for the word now, how they, to implicate you. Those are the things. So for you to now be the judge, jury, and executioner, I think that is totally unfair. I've had situations in my household where, in fact, this particular example, I had this former gatesman. He came in a week into his starting work. We're doing some work in the house, and someone had dropped off, an electrician had dropped off drills, just his tools. And he had come back to pick his tools, and we could not find it. It did not make sense. The only new person in the house, the only person that could have done it, is this new gatesman, the person that is supposed to be the security in the house. And even if it's not you, uncle, the person, whoever, how did you let anyone to come into the house and pick this thing and leave while you're at the gate? Of course, he denied it. But we had already made up our minds that he's leaving anyway. this sort of person, we cannot even trust you. So we cannot trust you as a person, you know, whether if you are taking things, and we cannot even trust you to keep our house secure. But it so happens that people in the area, you know, they know us and they had heard about it, told us that he sold those things to them, the security man.
Oh my Lord.
Of course, everyone is upset and angry. And there's this thing that my husband always says. He says, see, these people, you need to be careful. See, what is... life is not important to them. The sort of measures that they will take because they feel aggrieved, it will cost you so much. Just let them go. You know, either we took their picture, of course. You take their picture and then you let them go. And everyone in the community in this, is aware of it. The estate security are aware of this person. And you let them go. Because sometimes when you say, I'm going to just flog this person or beat this person, it's just, you mean nothing to them. They pay somebody 1,000, 2,000 and do immense harm to you. So for me, it's also about self-preservation. And I hope that, you know, many of us watching this will learn from what has happened. Finally, for me, is when I see this, I remember those poor boys that were killed.
Alufo.
Yes, the Alufo. In the end, you found out that it was not even their fault. The person that the person that collected their money instigated the whole thing. And then how do you feel knowing that you have caused the death of someone who truly was not truly investigated? So let's just be careful.
I mean, really sad. I'll come to you, Amaka, because I mean, while you're speaking, the story I was sharing that I would never forget, I was quite traumatized as a child, because I remember that time where my neighbor, I will not mention her name, she's late now, she had a help who had peed in the house, and I don't know what else she accused that girl of. And she came and called all the children on the streets, gave each of us a cane, and made us whip this woman. I was like, I mean, for me to even remember, I'm 44 years old, and I can remember I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. And I've had an accident where I lost quite a bit of my memory. So for that memory stuck out, I can never forget it. I mean, the girl was crying, she was rolling on the floor, and the woman was getting beat her, sing for her. You know, and again, unfortunately, many of us experience stuff like this. Those guys who are holding that whip, all of them have probably experienced it or were whipped also, or they've seen it. So we've normalized bad behavior. So we can't only just blame one person. It's a societal change we're trying to do. See how we can solve problems. Do the painstaking approach. Take that approach. Somebody is tired, come with the police, but you see, you cannot take laws in your own hands either. So, Amaka, what are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so generally, like the beating and physical abuse of an employer, you know, is illegal. It constitutes a violation of both labor laws and human rights laws. And it's so sad when you see things like this, because where someone has allegedly committed a crime, and then you now perpetrate another crime on top of that crime. Do you understand? It just doesn't make sense. In this kind of situation, you said you alleged that the girl committed the crime. Now, everybody in that store that flogged the girl, that hit the girl, will be arrested because the crime has been committed, right? And this reminds me like when I was growing up and we were on our way to school. I was in primary school, on our way to school. And then there was traffic, and we're wondering like, what's causing this traffic? And there was this gory, you know, image of where they said someone stole, and they just took tires and put around the guy's neck, and they burnt him. So as we were going to school, like driving, there was traffic, but then you can see somebody, a human being burning. I can never forget that. That was so gory and everything. And I can remember like asking my dad later, like I think some days later, like why did that happen? And then telling my dad like, this is what happened, this is what I saw and what happened. And he said like, you know, police now finally arrested the people that did that burnt the boy. Yeah, even if the boy stole, you have no right to do jungle justice. Exactly. And then the people, there was every possibility that not everybody that was involved was arrested, but some people were arrested. So sometimes, like Nima said, it's not you the person the accuser that says, okay, you stole my thing, might not be the person that calls the people to come and beat up or commit a crime or abuse another person, like in Nima's instance, right? So you also have to be careful, like when something happens and you're shouting out and telling people like, hey, oh, thief, or something has happened, though. And then when people gather, you have to also take responsibility.
Yeah. And also, in addition to what you're saying, Amaka, all those other guys that are holding that cane are equally complicit. So they called you to come and cane. The owner of the store, yes, might be complicit, but don't you that carry the cane, you're equally complicit. That's what happened with the case of the former ex-queen. All the people that are part of the planning, unfortunately, are now in arrested with us. So people must pay attention to what they're doing.
In situations like that, it is your responsibility. You're the one that's been aggrieved. You're the aggrieved party. But you also have to take responsibility and ensure that your evidence and whoever it is that you're accusing, that you hold the person so close and protect the person. Because if anything goes wrong, you go down for it. So, situations
that
like this.
That boy held my leg. Even me, I held him back. Because now the two of us go, two of us are at risk here.
So you report to the police. And sometimes we've had issues where you as the accuser, you're trying to even defend the person, and they agree, you're trying to defend the person, they'll beat both of you, because sometimes they not get carried away with what is actually happening.
The issue now is, the reason why many Nigerians would rather choose self-help or jungle justice, because the justice system can be slow, it can be difficult, it can be such that you don't even get justice. You as the aggrieved person will end up paying the police for one thing or the other, come and help me to come and check this place. So they find it so difficult to go to the police for all the long process. Bureaucracy, sometimes you have to go from one file to another file. So they rather just fix this problem themselves. So how do we fix that?
Jungle justice only happens at the scene of a crime. Rarely does it happen when we require. Nigerians are willing to pay police to find their kidnapped family members or find the person who stole their phone with time. But if a person is caught stealing a phone, it's jungle justice. So it's usually a reaction from anger. It's usually not. It's not the pain of having the justice system slow or the police being compromised or anything. It's usually the anger of people. Say you. I had that same anger. You know, the moment the boy was brought, the first slap, I welcomed the slap. I could have been the one slapping him that slap. The first slap, and I saw him, there was a tear immediately. I don't know what that person was wearing, but he had blood on his nose just from that first slap. My head correct quick, say no. But if he was closer to me, I probably would be the one. So it's usually a reaction from the anger of, how dare you? And I remember saying to the boy, you came to my house. Do you know I'm a lawyer? Saying to the boy, to steal. But say, no, I didn't steal from your house. I stole from outside your house. He put it in perspective, even though he stole. You know, so immediately that anger is what will first of all fuel the annoyance to do. And then what I want to criticize, I can understand the person who has had a loss reacting in such a way. What I cannot understand is the helpers. The people who are jumping out from everywhere. The person who they gave a cane, you met a girl, she's thief, and they gave them canes. In a group of all of you, nobody said, okay, make we take this girl again, maybe we take and go police station. You're a thief. Because I kept saying to the boy, you're a thief. The boy kept saying, please ma. Mom, he even called me mommy. I kept saying, you're a thief. You know, I was speaking in Yoruba because he now later replied in Yoruba. But then, nobody out of the crowd will say, please, so can we just take her to the police station? Those are the ones who are so guilty, the ones who do not. Because you are not provoked with the anger in question, you have not lost anything. You just enter, come help. You got that. That's the one I cannot understand. When we see a mob beating, usually you are passing on your own. You're supposed to be going to your house. You're supposed to have a place to go. Is it that you don't have purpose? That you will just join a situation like that and inflict harm on somebody unknown to you? I don't understand. Nothing has provoked you except you want to join.
Right. Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we'll take a few calls and comments on social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits?
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back. Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks to stay with us. So we're taking some comments on social media, but I know tomorrow to say something.
Okay, no, so I wanted to say something. I wanted to say that I understand your perspective in terms of the people going to the police and feeling that they can't still get justice when they report issues like this. We're Nigerians, and let's be factual. Most times, you know, going to the police, like my phone was stolen last year, everybody knows, and we went to the police, and I know how much money we spent. Over 400,000 naira.
To do what exactly?
Thank you very much. We were asked to bring money to open file, asked to bring money to track and everything. Until today, my phone, I did not see phone.
That's why I always blame Nollywood, because people always accuse me of saying, why do I bring everything to Nollywood? That entire process could have actually been put in a movie where we teach and educate you on the you shouldn't have to pay anything.
We know. See, I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer, and I know we don't have to pay anything,
so why are you paying?
But for anything, for anybody to even talk to you or for anything to happen. So regardless of the fact that we know the process and how things should be done, unfortunately, just like in law school, we are taught how things should be done, but the practicality of the law is application of the law is different. That's the reality, and that's the society we live in. So regardless of the fact that it's illegal for people to mete out justice or whatever, sometimes it's the anger and frustration that maybe certain things have happened in the past.
But you've paid now and nothing has happened. So what's the point? So you just wasted your money.
Exactly. And I lost my phone. And then where I'm supposed to get justice from, they still took money from me.
No, but to even say that that is someone that took the right step and went to the police.
Exactly.
So it's not really about her; it's really about the system.
The system
where
we
know what it should be and what it actually is in reality.
Yes.
See, we are all Nigerians. We cannot. Not everyone has access to a police officer. You know, some of us can call somebody and say, please, can you put me up with this person? This has happened to me. But many Nigerians don't have that access. Some people, what they have is their money. And they feel, okay, if I can just give them some money, they will make sure that my case is looked into and they solve it. And many people have actually gotten results for giving money. So that is a whole other issue. There's truly, you know, like levels to the reason why Nigerians act the way that they do. But for me, the very first reason why we act the way we do is there's a culture. We have this culture from way back, which is there's this public shaming. But we have abused it and made it jungle justice. So if you are caught in a community or anywhere for doing anything bad, for stealing or anything, everybody comes out to shame you into behaving better, not into killing you, so that you are ashamed to behave better. So I understand that communal, let's come out and shame this person. It's the fact that we now go on to putting tires on people and lighting them on fire and just acting as if we are barbarians or witches and wizards, just excited about seeing burning flesh. Do you understand? That's what I don't get. And I don't believe that that's anything to do with culture or has anything to do with the fact that police does not work or our judiciary is slow. That is just a mental issue. Like, how do you see another human being burning and you don't, there's nothing in your body that just freezes or stops you? That I don't get. But truly, there's an issue with our judicial system and the police. Many of us cannot access justice, even when we're on our right, because of the way the system works here sometimes.
You know, I want to go back to what Nima said, which I think is really profound, and I think it's worth reflecting on. You see, there's that instant anger you feel, but there's something that holds. If you're in a foreign country and something happened and it really upsets you, something holds you, something restrains you from punching somebody in the face, because you know that you could go to jail. Here, nothing restrains you. Your frustration, your anger, and then they say that this boy stole this something. I'm going to, all that anger in my head, and I'm going to take it out on this boy. So the question therefore is, what is wrong with us such that we're not able to restrain ourselves? Because the anger is there, the jungle justice tendency is there anyway. We saw it in insurrection. I always go back to that insurrection that happened January 2nd during Trump's time. We also how somebody who's supposed to be exposed, better educated, went and carried themselves to the capital. So anger is everywhere, is universal, but something always holds you back. Why come that thing doesn't hold us back here?
It's the environment. We're a product of environment, regardless of how we want to look at it. This is what something people saw growing up. This is what they are seeing now as adults. It's just how the environment is. Do you understand? So if you go abroad and then people say, you're not even supposed to do, you're holding yourself because you don't want to go to jail. But in Nigeria, where ABC, everybody's getting away with certain things unconsciously, this is what you know.
So even this claim that we are talking about, one time lynching was law. They were allowed to lynch a certain lesser humans, and so they regulated it. Yes, they regulated it and ensured that fundamental rights were entrenched. So the only way to change what we call society or what we call our environment now is to ensure that there's prosecution of these helpers who help and watch, because it's murder. If you lynch someone because he stole, or you join in mob justice and you see the person bleeding, there was one I saw where the person had been injured on his head and he was bleeding, left lifeless on the floor, and we were the ones calling the emergency line, because there's also the burden of if you try to help the person to a police station or to a hospital. So the system itself needs to be sanitized. I agree, but along with Amaka, even as a lawyer, I paid police before for a track and arrest. Imagine that. And only for me to be reading the first PRO now saying it's totally free and you should come to Abuja. He knows for a fact that there's nowhere you go, they will insist that you pay something. But I now have someone who helps me to do my track and arrest at a minimum amount. I still pay.
Let me take this call. Ibrahim, thanks for calling from Niger State. You're live.
Good morning, Morayo.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please.
I'm calling from Niger State, Suleja. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to
My name is Ibrahim. I've been a fan. Hello?
I can hear you, but go ahead.
We can hear you.
Okay.
It's very low.
I've been a fan of your view. I've been trying to call you, but it doesn't really get through. The truth is, most Nigerians have given up on this our criminal justice system. That's the truth. I'm totally against this jungle justice, you understand? But the truth is, most Nigerians have given up on this criminal justice system. You have a case, you take it to the police. If you don't have any connection, you lose that case. So this is our problem. Like the story Nima said about her son's bike. I have a similar story. A guy came to my door. I was inside. I was trying to go my door. When we caught him, we took him to the police. Nothing was done. And at the end of the day, they freed him. So this is the problem. I hope, just like the other test you had in Abuja studio, I was talking this from Sislak, that was talking about money being repatriated from, stolen money repatriated from abroad. Most of these people who stole this money, you never get to hear what was done to them. And that is why you keep hearing these cases on and on and on and on every day with no solution. So sincerely, we need to look for how to get our criminal justice system working again, because sincerely it's not working. That's why most of these criminals will do whatever they want, knowing fully well at the end of the day when you take the case for justice. If you have nobody, it's lies. It's our problem.
Thank you very much. I'm hoping our viewers heard you because we didn't hear you in the studio. But thank you very much, Ibrahim, for calling.
No, you brought it back to repatriate.
But I was going to say something. There was a story we took here where somebody had reported somebody to the police who did something to them, and they arrested the person for a very short period. The person was eventually released and went back to murder and kill the aggrieved parties. So people have seen that happen, where the accused person is released and then comes back to harm them. So they're always careful not to go that route. They rather, when the community comes together and put justice on that person, and then they know that the person knows that, okay, I can't come back and harm them because everybody knows I'm the one. So there's always that part of it that makes people afraid of going to the Nigerian police. So
according to this, one of our viewers, he said that government won't sign death warrants. And those are one of Moses Ade says the government won't sign death warrants. Some of the things that makes people lose faith. So imagine that you dedicate time out of your busy schedule to follow through to justice a crime that was committed against you. You have gone to court, you held your place as witness, you held your ground, you brought all your evidence, the police and somebody was finally sentenced for the crime against you. Imagine, like, let's just use rape for instance, and then the person gets to let me find something, rape that resulted in maybe death of a child, and then the person is finally sentenced to death, and the person is waiting for years, and you finally hear there was pardon. One of the cases in question is the Osun State case of the boy who was claimed to have stolen a chicken. Remember when we took it on the phone, I was like, are we going to just kill our justice system like that? That it's possible that a court sits in this country and sentences somebody to death for stealing chicken when it didn't result in death and there was no firearms carried. Is that what our books say? I finally read a report from a friend in the judiciary in Osun, from the judge who sat over that matter, and how he felt the injustice of that pardon. I can only imagine how the families of the person whose farm was attacked with arms and the death that was supposed to have occurred in that attack would feel. Absolutely. Because now social media has brought it as a form of injustice. We have gone on, we have debased this serious crime, this felony, to chicken. That somebody stole chicken. So you want to steal chicken, catch your chicken for cage. Let me just inform Nigerians. Steal the chicken from cage, not that you attack the farm owner. Yes. Not that you are approaching it with a group of friends with even knife, is arm. Not that you attack it with cutlass, because we let this, and this story now, this injustice is still flying. So you would see somebody with a farm, for instance, who may probably even the farm owner have a reoccurrence of that, and would rather take justice into his own hands. And we don't have licensed firearms in Nigeria.
Let me take Victor Carlo. Thanks for calling. Good morning, Victor. Hello, Victor, you're live.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Yes.
Yeah, first time caller as well.
Welcome to the
show. Forever fan. Yes, concerning the issue you guys, you beautiful ladies are discussing, I think the major issue that is the problem is that Nigerians have lost their humanity. Yes, Nigerians have lost their humanity. That is why people find it very easy to just raise something and hit a fellow human being, given the slightest provocation. And just like you ladies and the former caller has said, the justice system has not really been strengthened enough to see that people are brought to justice, irrespective of the level, the circumstances that led to that crime. If, for instance, you see a police officer, a military officer on uniform, fully kitted, walking past a scene that ordinarily he would have stopped over to like influence something that would have led to maybe arresting the situation. But you walk past. They go and see these people at checkpoint and see how they molest innocent people, harmless people. So I think it has a lot to do with the justice system. It has a lot to do with the security architecture and the training of the security personnel. I am privileged to be one of the security personnel myself, and again, our people don't just care. somebody will tell you. So I think we should go back to the reality that we are first human created by God. There is a sense.
Thank you very much, Victor. I mean, that's a really interesting angle.
Yes,
Humanity.
lots of humanity. People have lost their sense of empathy, sympathy, compassion. But also there's a reason why. You know, there's also the question why. And I would like to take it back to our justice system. You know, just the whole thing about accountability and just justice from the moment a crime is committed and the whole process to the very end. Is that what has happened is when we find ourselves in positions of power and we use our position to help our family or our friend get away with something just because, well, you know, this is family, you are creating a system that is powerless. And that's why in some countries you see that they insist on making sure that whoever you are, however big or influential you think you are, you must go through the justice system and be accountable for whatever it is that you have done, and you will face the punishment of whatever it is you have done. But we have a system here, and we've seen it many times over and over, especially with government. You know, one administration comes in and pardons a group of people for bad behavior. So people just wait till the administration that will favor me come in and let me do all sorts of things. And because of that, people lose trust in the system. And then they lose humanity because they have to, now you've put a burden on them to take care of themselves, to preserve themselves, to seek justice for themselves. They cannot, there's no system to do that. You are right, we're all humans, and you keep using that example of what happened in America. But look at but what's the end of that story? We're seeing court cases. We're seeing them being called up wherever they are. Their pictures being, their names and pictures placed everywhere, and they are being held accountable for that action.
Yes.
But how, when we are not held accountable for our actions, when we see that someone who, maybe they even get to the point that they arrest the person, but a few days down the line, or a few years down the line, the person is allowed to go about their business. In fact, the person can stand and look at you and warn you that you are in trouble for opening your mouth because you are in trouble. I have people in government, I have people in the system who will get you. So those are the things that have caused the loss of humanity, the fact that people are acting as if they are crazy. And that's why every administration needs to understand it's not just about your friends and family, it's about life in general, it's about the country, it's about posterity. Nothing will work if you don't make it work, even amongst your family or your friends. And are we ready to take that step?
You see, what you say is quite profound. And I think, I mean, I would almost want to link it with the ex-Queen Naomi's case. Because as much as we all don't want to see her in prison, we all see the intention behind what she's doing was right, was noble. There's no way anybody would want her to be in jail. However, because the system we're trying to build shouldn't have any sort of emotion. Because that's it. But you see, my question is, the Africanness in us will always bring out the emotion. Now, should we disperse that Africanness? Because it's Africanness that makes you say, okay, yes, this is the law, but let us see the circumstance, see how we can do it such that you understand that this person don't mean that way. But in other parts of the world, they don't care who you are. As long as the law says this is this, you go through the process and we'll see what happens. The justice is blind. So my question therefore is, as we being who we are, because we modify everything to fit our own people how we are, do we therefore modify these laws such that it suits who we are as a people? Because we're very, very communal.
Yeah, because like, saying that we lost humanity and also modifying the laws to suit us. Because certain times, there are certain things that will happen that it's so bizarre that the human reflex action comes into play where you don't expect to be violent, but then you see yourself in a certain situation. Let me give an example. An auntie of mine who has almost 30 years experience as a medical doctor, was at the hospital, and a 7-month-old baby was brought in with the man and police people that raped a 7-month-old baby. And when she saw this, she said she has never had this kind of reflex in 30 years of being a medical doctor. She gave the guy a hot slap. When she saw the state that baby was like, you could not, you don't look to see any other person to rape a 7-month-old baby. So sometimes certain things can happen that make you act.
So that your auntie,
what she was in the UK.
she will know that she will
No,
she will restrain herself. Hey, if I slap this one, I'm going to jail.
But I'm just trying to say that certain things sometimes
emotions.
we know the law, we know what we're not supposed to do, but sometimes we pray not to be in certain situations that will make us act out of character. Wow, this is so busy. How can this even happen? You understand?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So self-control requires training. Ask us people with the sabi vex. Self-control over time is something that you master. It doesn't come natural to anybody. I don't think so. So what your auntie did is not. You see, that's why I say in the scene of a crime, at the scene of a crime, anything can happen. You can lose it. You can, scream. It depends on your level. Topa will say, I'm not a violent person. I don't usually react violently. And the kind of things she's describing, I would have slapped the person like 10 times already. So we're all different and we react. We vary in our levels of reaction, but we're not unique in our own way. This thing is not unique to us as Nigerians, neither is it an African thing. The US of it, just their president is going here, pardon his son, unconditional pardon, ahead of any future prosecution. So there's no system that cannot be tried to be used or that cannot be used. We see systems abused everywhere in the Europe of Europe. If you do me time, I'll go just read them out. So I don't have any. I don't consider any country or race superior. I don't say that. Everybody is human, and our human. Even the system, even the British system, there are many, and the Americans should just even keep quiet because there are too many injustices that have happened over the years. People who are getting out of jail in 40 years, 50 years in this same perfect system for crime that they did nothing. That even the DNA is showing with their forensic that they have advanced. Is showing that this person didn't commit the crime and the person only went to jail because the victim, so-called, was a different race, a different skin color. So we can have a full day's speech on it. I'm just saying that as long as we want justice, which is universal, everybody wants fairness from whatever angle they're holding. It's important that justice here is blind, and it's important that we must separate ourselves from the act itself and let the system take care of it.
Let's take the comments on social media. Let's involve our viewers who are also trying to be part of this show. Any comments so far on any of the social media angles?
We have many on YouTube. Just trying to get them back.
Someone said, Nigerians, Fiona said, Nigerians should be kind. When you see someone in that situation, all we need to do is prevent them from such cruel treatments. Jungle justice and overall
Atnam says, even if he's abroad, he could win the case, justifying it being a witness to an extreme crime.
Who's he talking about?
Talking about the slap from the doctor.
So we'll be wrapping up very soon, and I think so. Again, in this situation, you have that comment?
Yeah.
Let's take a few more comments.
Someone is screaming, a 7-month-old.
Yes,
it's very touching. Just Reason says 600,000 Nigerians have been killed and 2.2 million kidnapped without any war declared nor arrest made. What a country. Talking about some of the things that fall self-help.
Oladiji said, 2 wrongs don't make a right. This blaming the judiciary no fly at all. Jungle justice is barbaric. We should be more civilized.
Then Andrew says, one thing I know about Nigeria's criminal justice system is we need to implement court orders. That's one we see from our leaders not giving us the right example. It says Nigerians know how to internalize injustice, and this means that when an injustice is meted out and the thief has been caught, they just explode and with apoplectic anger, and it might cause death.
Let me take Dozier. Thanks for calling, Dozier. You're live.
Hello.
Good morning, Dozier. Go ahead.
Hello.
Please. Yes, you're live.
I'm the first time caller.
Welcome to the
show. Thank you. I've been listening to the topic for today. It's really sad that most of the people we employ in our businesses are those that will wreck the business.
Sure.
I had a natural experience too on a farm that I employed some poultry attendants. In fact, the farm is no more. So, in as much as I don't support the abuse of that lady, there are times the criminal justice system too wants you to let out punishment to some erring staff members like that. So I will just say that you will just gloss over it. And am I still with you?
Yes, I can hear
Yes, and just a digression now. There's a lady that's always hanging a coat like a cloak. I don't think it's good practice. I think she's doing the same thing this month. When I was on campus, we have people that does that, and we have a name we call them. What do you want to know? So please advise her to stop hanging coats over our children. Wow. Cloak and dagger
how does her cloak? I just collected I'm the one that
for a long time. So please, it doesn't.
Thank you for your view. Yeah, they let it come, but unfortunately, it's your perspective.
Wow. The comment he made on the topic, I thought that was great perspective, to look at it from the employer's side. This is an issue definitely when Nigerians are fighting with employees. I've been to businesses when the owner is there, everything is moving. People are answering you, sending you messages, finding feedback and everything. Answering quick sharp. When you go to that same business, when the owner is not seated, you feel so sorry for the owner of the business. It's either you are trying to make a payment and they'll tell you, use my account. Yes. Do you understand? Or they're supposed to do something for you, get something for you. They're dragging their feet as if you're not paying them. So I see that. And I think Nigerians are saying, okay, now that people have said we should not be the ones to punish them, what do we do? This person has just come to wreck my business. Maria. What do I do?
I've gone to a business and they gave me a personal account to pay for. Unfortunately, they don't know that I know the owner. So I collected the account. I then called the owner. I've been asked to pay this amount. Is this the account? He said, absolutely not. And then she now sent me the right account. And I forwarded it. But I let her know that her staff gave me a different personal account. So that happens. So when you get frustrated because you know how much money you've invested in that business. So that frustration,
we do. You did the right thing.
But sometimes
when you have the suspicion, you insist. We couldn't even call the customer when I needed to buy the inverter-friendly freezer. We had gone to a particular shop where we bought our first one. We met a funny young man, and he gave us a personal account. My husband said, "I know this business. My first branch I worked is on this street. This bank, this business account is with my bank. This is not this name is not the owner of the business." Exactly. And so we went back and forth. I said, you need to get to work, find a way. He said, this is not something that is allowed. But we kept arguing with him. He told us at the end of the day that it's not selling. Exactly. The shop was practically empty. It wasn't as when I got married, the first time we went to the shop, it was a full shop. This man is now in Abuja.
They've eaten down the shop.
They've emptied it.
So what does a Nigerian do? So you want to hire Nigerians. Some they tell you not to hire foreigners. The other day someone was telling me that they're bringing in somebody from Finland.
Self-help now.
Philippines. I'm
Self-help now.
How would you do that? Nigerians, they don't want to hire Nigerians anymore.
Self-help now is an independent CCTV system. It's an investment. Whatever you tell me, I cannot believe otherwise. Because your eye cannot be everywhere. Number two is taking your stock as much as you must. Even if you delegate your power, let them know I am watching you from wherever I am. Have your camera. This kind of exchange. If your camera has a voice, you can pick it up anywhere you are. And don't be too lazy to review your own business. One of the things that we have a problem with is continuity. Reviewing your business, doing your own audit is important so that you can find out when you need to find out. Once you arrest a person and the mother and family come and say sorry, let the police have that person while they pay you back.
I said having good employees is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
It's such a blessing. I'm telling you, someone that aligns to your business and then carries your business like your own is such a blessing.
Yes, I was going to say, you're talking about being part of your business, and then that means you're talking to a small business. Now this business has scaled up, is doing better, and needs more hands, and you now need to trust a manager, a supervisor, and then you're in trouble. So it's not as if you did not put in the work. I'm telling you,
this is have a whole other show for. Because a lot of entrepreneurs are going through this. We keep telling them skill, produce in Nigeria, manufacture in Nigeria, and they want to do it here. Some people come back from their abroad, they want to set up here, and it's this same our people that defrauds them, that frustrates them.
Family members defraud
them. So that one is a difference day conversation.
Put your cameras.
Unfortunately, that is all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. At ShopX TV.